Welcome to my Knowledge Sleep channel, and welcome to this peaceful space where you can simply let go and allow your mind to drift into the most restful sleep. There's nothing you need to remember tonight, nothing you need to learn or retain. These words are simply here to guide your consciousness gently downward, like autumn leaves settling onto still water, until you find yourself in the deep, restorative sleep your body craves. Tonight you're going to hear about the magnificent architecture of your brain, the elegant systems that govern rest, and the beautiful processes that unfold while you sleep. But you don't need to focus on any of it. Let these truths about your remarkable nervous system become a soft blanket of sound, wrapping around you, creating a cocoon of calm where sleep can naturally emerge. Your brain is the most complex structure in the known universe, containing roughly 86 billion neurons, each one a tiny universe of electrical potential. Right now, as you settle into comfort, these billions of cells are beginning their nightly transition, shifting from the scattered, rapid patterns of wakefulness into the slow, synchronized rhythms that define sleep. This isn't something you need to control or guide. Your brain has been perfecting this transition every single night of your entire life, and tonight will be no different. Research suggests that in these quiet moments before sleep arrives, your neurons start firing in beautiful, coordinated waves. Imagine millions of tiny lights blinking in harmony, creating patterns that ripple across the surface of your brain like gentle ocean swells. These waves move at a frequency of about 1 to 4 cycles per second, so slow and rhythmic that they naturally pull your awareness downward, away from thoughts and worries, toward the depths of unconsciousness. Throughout your entire day, a molecule called adenosine has been quietly accumulating in your brain. Every moment of wakefulness, every thought you've had, every movement you've made has contributed to this molecular buildup. Adenosine is your brain's way of creating sleep pressure, an elegant timer that measures how long you've been awake. Right now, that pressure is working beautifully in your favor, making your eyelids heavy, your thoughts softer, your entire being ready for the gift of sleep. Deep within your brain sits a structure no larger than an almond called the hypothalamus. Within this tiny region resides a cluster of about 20,000 specialized neurons known as the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock. As darkness falls outside, these cells receive information about the fading light, and they begin orchestrating your entire system's transition into night mode. Chemical messengers flow outward from this central timekeeper, signaling to every organ, every tissue, every cell that the time for rest has arrived. Studies show that your core body temperature begins dropping naturally as you prepare for sleep, declining by 1 to 2 degrees over the course of the night. This cooling isn't just a side effect of rest, it's actually part of what triggers drowsiness. Feel that subtle coolness now, as your body wisely redirects warmth away from your core, sending it toward your extremities. Your hands and feet may feel slightly warmer as blood vessels in your skin dilate, releasing heat and helping your body find the perfect temperature for deep, uninterrupted sleep. The transition from wakefulness to sleep doesn't happen all at once. Your consciousness doesn't simply switch off like a light. Instead, you drift through stages, each one a step deeper into rest. Right now, You may be entering what sleep scientists call stage 1, a twilight zone where you're neither fully awake nor completely asleep. Brainwave patterns in this stage produce theta waves, slow, rolling patterns of electrical activity like gentle hills in a peaceful landscape. Let yourself float over these hills, drifting peacefully with no destination in mind. As you relax even more deeply, your muscles begin to release their tension through a process the body performs automatically. Fewer and fewer activation signals travel from your brain to your muscle fibers, allowing tension to melt away like snow in spring sunshine. Notice this happening now in your jaw, which may have been clenched without your awareness. Feel it softening. Notice your shoulders, which may have been elevated toward your ears, now dropping down, releasing, letting go completely. There's a network of neurons running through your brainstem called the reticular activating system, and it functions like a volume dial for consciousness. As you sink into relaxation, this system gradually turns down, reducing your awareness of external sounds, of physical sensations, even of your own thoughts. The world around you is dimming, quieting, fading into a peaceful darkness where nothing can disturb you. Your eye movements change as sleep approaches. Instead of the quick, darting saccades of alert wakefulness, your eyes begin slow, rolling motions back and forth under closed lids. These movements are your brain's signal that conscious control is being released, that you no longer need to look at anything, search for anything, or remain vigilant in any way. There's nowhere you need to direct your gaze, nothing you need to see, just darkness, just peace, just the gentle approach of sleep. The pattern of your breathing shifts naturally as you move towards sleep. The deliberate, controlled breathing you might have maintained throughout the day gives way now to something more automatic, more primal. A region deep in your brainstem called the medulla oblongata takes over completely, creating a rhythm that's effortless, perfect, requiring nothing from your conscious mind. Trust this ancient part of your brain to breathe for you now, in and out, rising and falling, like waves on a shore, perfectly timed, utterly reliable. Your brain produces a neurotransmitter called GABA, which scientists describe as the nervous system's natural calming agent. Research indicates that GABA works by reducing neuronal excitability, essentially telling your brain cells to slow down, to quiet their chatter, to rest. Right now, GABA is spreading through your brain like a gentle fog, softening every thought, calming every impulse, creating a biochemical foundation for sleep. Deep within your brain, a tiny structure shaped like a pine cone secretes a hormone called melatonin as darkness falls. This pineal gland doesn't force sleep to arrive, but rather opens a gate in your biology, creating what scientists call the biological night. You're passing through that gate now, entering your own personal night, your own time for rest and renewal, guided by chemicals that have been helping humans sleep for hundreds of thousands of years. The prefrontal cortex, the region of your brain responsible for planning, worrying, and decision-making, is one of the first areas to reduce its activity as sleep approaches. This explains why your thoughts might feel less sharp right now, less urgent, less important. This isn't a failure of your mind. This is your brain doing exactly what it should, letting go of the day's concerns, releasing its grip on problems and plans, allowing you to simply be without agenda, without effort. Studies show that your heart rate begins to slow by approximately 5 to 10 beats per minute as you transition toward sleep. This decrease is regulated by your vagus nerve, the great wandering nerve that connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your digestive system, signaling to all of them that the time for activity has passed and the time for restoration has arrived. Feel your heartbeat now, becoming slower, steadier, calmer, a peaceful rhythm that rocks you gently toward sleep. The boundary between waking and sleeping involves a beautiful phenomenon that researchers call sleep spindles. These are brief bursts of brainwave activity lasting just a second or two that scientists believe help protect your sleep from external disturbances. Your brain is beginning to generate these right now, creating a protective cocoon around your rest, a neural shield that will guard you through the night. The average human brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy during wakefulness, but studies suggest that during sleep, energy consumption decreases by approximately 25%. Your brain is beginning this energy-saving mode now, conserving resources that will be redirected toward the important work of memory consolidation, cellular repair, and emotional processing that happens exclusively while you sleep. As you fall asleep, your perception of time begins to distort in fascinating ways. Minutes might feel like seconds, or they might disappear entirely from your awareness. This temporal dissolution is a sign that your consciousness is fragmenting, preparing for the timeless realm of dreams, for the eternal present moment that defines deep sleep. Let time lose all meaning now. There's no schedule in this moment, no place you need to be, only the soft, timeless space of approaching rest. Research shows that your brain clears metabolic waste much more efficiently during sleep through a system called the glymphatic system. This cleaning process increases by nearly 60% when you sleep, washing away the accumulated debris of your day's thoughts and activities. Even now, as you relax toward sleep, this system is preparing to cleanse your brain tissue, to remove toxins and proteins, leaving your mind fresh and clear for tomorrow. The thalamus, often called the brain's sensory relay station, begins to reduce its activity as you drift towards sleep. Studies indicate that this reduction helps filter out the external world, making sounds become distant, dimming the sensation of light behind closed eyes, reducing the prominence of physical sensations. Your thalamus is protecting your sleep now, creating silence, creating darkness, creating the sensory emptiness that allows consciousness to dissolve. Scientists have discovered that the transition to sleep involves what they call local sleep processes, meaning different brain regions may actually fall asleep at slightly different times. Perhaps your visual cortex is already sleeping while your auditory centers still register the sound of these words. But soon, all regions will join in synchronized rest, a complete, total, peaceful sleep where every part of your brain enters the restorative state it needs. Research suggests that your blood pressure decreases naturally during sleep by about 10 to 20%, a phenomenon called nocturnal dipping. This gives your cardiovascular system essential rest and recovery time. Feel that subtle decrease happening already as your blood vessels gently relax, widening slightly, allowing easier flow, less pressure, more ease throughout your entire circulatory system. The neurotransmitter serotonin plays a complex role in sleep regulation. While it promotes wakefulness in some brain regions during the day, It also helps produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. Right now, this delicate balance is shifting, tipping toward sleep, toward rest, toward the night side of your natural biological cycle. As sleep approaches, the small muscles around your eyes, your mouth, your forehead release their subtle tensions. Your facial expression is becoming neutral, peaceful, as if all the masks you wore during the day are being gently removed, revealing simple, restful being beneath. There's no emotion you need to display now, no social signal you need to send. Just let your face be completely, utterly relaxed. During the moments before sleep, your brain produces more alpha waves, rhythmic patterns cycling at 8 to 12 times per second. These waves are associated with calm, relaxed awareness, the bridge between thinking and not thinking. Let yourself rest on this bridge, not needing to cross it, just floating in this peaceful, in-between space where thought gradually gives way to no thought. The arousal system in your brain includes several structures working together to keep you alert and responsive during waking hours. Studies show that as you relax, this system's activity gradually decreases. Less arousal, less alertness, less activation. Feel that activation draining away like water finding its lowest level, settling into stillness, into quiet, into the perfect calm that precedes sleep. Your salivation decreases during sleep, which is why you might wake with a dry mouth in the morning. But right now, in this transition period, your salivary glands are beginning to reduce their production. Even these small details are part of your body's ancient wisdom, part of the coordinated shift that prepares you for hours of uninterrupted rest. Research suggests that your digestive system slows its activity significantly during sleep. The muscular contractions called peristalsis that move food through your intestines become less frequent, allowing energy to be redirected toward more important nighttime processes like repair, immune function, and brain maintenance. Your whole body is shifting into sleep mode, restoration mode, healing mode. Your eyelids become progressively heavier due to both psychological and physiological factors. The muscle that lifts your eyelids receives fewer activating signals from your brain. Feel that heaviness now. It's not something to fight or resist. It's something to welcome, to embrace, to surrender to completely. Let your eyelids be as heavy as they want to be, requiring no effort to keep them closed, just naturally, effortlessly remaining shut. The brain's default mode network, a collection of interconnected regions, becomes more active as you drift towards sleep. Scientists believe this network is involved in internally focused thought, in daydreaming, in the wandering mind. Let your mind wander now without direction, without purpose, like a leaf on a gentle stream, moving naturally towards sleep with no effort, no resistance, just flowing. Your sense of body boundaries may begin to blur as you approach sleep. The distinction between where you end and the bed begins becomes less clear, less important. This dissolution, this merging, is completely natural and completely peaceful. Let yourself spread out, become boundaryless, formless, floating, dissolving into pure rest. The hippocampus, your brain's memory center, changes its activity pattern as you fall asleep. Instead of encoding new memories from incoming experiences, It begins the process of consolidation, moving important events from temporary storage to permanent storage. Your hippocampus is preparing to organize your day while you rest, and it requires nothing from your conscious mind. It knows exactly what to do, and it will do it perfectly while you sleep. Studies show that skin temperature on your hands and feet typically increases by a few degrees as sleep approaches. This redistribution of heat from your core to your periphery is regulated by blood vessel dilation. Feel that warmth in your hands, in your feet, spreading outward, radiating gently as your body intelligently prepares for deep rest. The neurotransmitter dopamine, which helps regulate motivation and reward, shows different patterns in sleep versus wakefulness. Research suggests that dopamine levels shift as you drift off, reducing the sense that you need to do anything, achieve anything, pursue anything. There's nothing to chase in this moment, no goal to reach, only peace to receive and accept. Your auditory threshold increases as you fall asleep, meaning it takes louder sounds to register in your awareness. The sound of these words may seem to come from farther away now, becoming distant, faint, like an echo from another room, another time, fading gradually into silence. This is your brain protecting your sleep, raising the barrier between external sound and internal awareness. Research indicates that the sleep-promoting ventrolateral preoptic nucleus in your hypothalamus becomes more active as sleep approaches, actively inhibiting wake-promoting regions. Think of this as a gentle switch being flipped in the depths of your brain from wake to sleep, from day to night, from active to restful. That switch is flipping now, allowing sleep to claim you. Your blink rate, which averages about 15 to 20 times per minute when awake, slows dramatically as sleep approaches. Of course, with eyes closed, you're not blinking at all now, just resting in stillness, in peace, your eyes completely at ease, requiring nothing, doing nothing, simply being closed and comfortable. The sensation of falling that sometimes occurs as you drift off, called a hypnic jerk, happens because your muscles relax so quickly that your brain misinterprets this as falling. If this occurs, know that it's completely normal, completely harmless, just your nervous system making its transition from wakefulness to sleep. It's a sign that you're succeeding in letting go, in surrendering to rest. Research indicates that your conscious awareness doesn't disappear all at once, but rather fragments into discontinuous moments. You might notice awareness, then not, then awareness again, like a light dimming, flickering, and finally going out. Each flicker brings you closer to complete rest, to the total absence of conscious thought. Scientists have observed that cerebrospinal fluid, the clear liquid surrounding your brain, flows more freely during sleep than during waking. This increased flow helps remove toxins, including proteins that accumulate during waking hours. Your brain is preparing this cleaning system now, ready to wash away the biochemical residue of your day. Studies suggest that your muscles enter a state called atonia during certain sleep stages, a temporary paralysis that prevents you from acting out dreams. But even now in early sleep, your muscles are becoming profoundly relaxed, heavy, still, like weighted blankets covering your bones, holding you gently to the earth, anchoring you in comfort. The sensation of your body becoming heavy or light as you fall asleep relates to changes in proprioception, your brain's sense of body position and weight. Your brain's representation of your physical form begins to drift, to distort, to transform. You might feel heavy as stone or light as air, and both sensations are equally valid, both leading equally toward the same destination of sleep. Research shows that your pupils constrict as you relax, even behind closed eyelids. This meiosis, this gentle narrowing, is part of the parasympathetic response, the rest and digest system taking control from the fight or flight system. Your whole nervous system is shifting, choosing peace over vigilance, choosing rest over readiness, choosing sleep over wakefulness. The boundary between being asleep and awake is not always clear or distinct. You may, in this very moment, be in what researchers call the sleep onset period, neither awake nor asleep, but somewhere in between, a liminal space that's perfectly safe to explore or to cross completely. This threshold is gossamer thin, barely noticeable, easily crossed without even realizing the crossing has occurred. Studies indicate that your ability to process complex language decreases as you approach sleep. These words being spoken may be losing their precise meaning, becoming sounds, rhythms, tones, vibrations. Let meaning dissolve. You don't need to understand or analyze or remember. Just listen or don't listen. Just float and rest. Research suggests that the emotional centers of your brain, particularly the amygdala, change their activity as you sleep. The amygdala, often called the fear center, becomes less reactive during sleep, allowing emotional experiences to be processed in a safer space. Tonight, as you sleep, emotional healing will occur naturally, effortlessly, beyond your conscious control. Your sense of smell becomes less sensitive during sleep, a form of sensory gating that helps protect rest from disturbances. The world of scent is fading now, becoming distant, less important, as other senses also recede into the background, leaving only soft darkness and peace. The claustrum, a thin sheet of neurons beneath your cortex, may play a role in consciousness itself. As this structure's activity changes with sleep, perhaps consciousness doesn't disappear but transforms into something else, something dreamlike, something beyond words, something you're approaching now as sleep draws nearer. Research indicates that your decision-making abilities naturally diminish as sleep approaches. And this isn't weakness, but biology. The cognitive effort required to evaluate options, to plan, to worry becomes too difficult, too taxing. Let yourself be incapable of decisions now. There are none to make except the non-decision, to simply rest, to simply surrender to what's already happening. Studies show that blood flow to your brain actually changes during sleep transitions. Some regions receive more blood, others less, and this redistribution supports the specific tasks of sleep. Your brain is intelligently redirecting resources to where they're needed for memory consolidation, for cleaning, for repair, requiring nothing from your conscious mind. The sensation of time passing is created by specific neural patterns, and as these patterns shift towards sleep, time itself seems to change. A moment might last forever or disappear instantly. Let yourself exist outside time now in an eternal present moment of rest, where past and future both dissolve into irrelevance. Your sensory cortex, the brain regions that process touch, sound, and sight, begin to deactivate in a cascade as sleep arrives. Research suggests this happens in a fairly predictable order, with the visual cortex often quieting first. Perhaps images are already fading from your inner vision, leaving only darkness, soft, complete darkness. The nucleus basalis, a region in your forebrain, produces acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter important for attention and arousal. Studies show this region's activity decreases dramatically during sleep. Less acetylcholine means less attention, less arousal, less wakefulness. Feel attention slipping away like sand through fingers, impossible to hold, gone completely. Your thoughts change in character as you approach sleep, moving from logical to illogical, from connected to random, from important to meaningless. These hypnagogic thoughts are a sign you're entering sleep's territory. Welcome strange thoughts, impossible thoughts, fragmentary thoughts. They're guides leading you toward dreams. Research indicates that your immune system actually becomes more active during sleep. Cytokines, proteins important for immune function, increase at night. Even now, as you relax, your body is preparing to strengthen defenses, to fight inflammation, to heal tissues, while you do nothing but rest. The sensation of sinking that many people report as they fall asleep may relate to decreased muscle tone throughout your body. Scientists suggest this gives the subjective feeling of melting, of descending, of being pulled down gently into the mattress, into the earth, into sleep itself. Let yourself sink now. There's no bottom to reach, just endless soft descent. Studies show that your rate of metabolic processes, the countless chemical reactions sustaining life, decreases during sleep by about 15%. This metabolic slowing allows your body to redirect energy toward repair rather than activity. Your metabolism is shifting now, slowing, conserving, healing. Scientists have discovered that the brain's connectivity patterns change between waking and sleeping. Networks that work together during the day may disconnect at night, while others form new temporary connections. Your brain is rewiring itself right now, creating the neural architecture needed for sleep's deeper purposes. Research suggests that your sensation of breathing may change as you approach sleep. The breath might feel further away, less personal, more automatic. This is natural and safe. The ancient brainstem, millions of years old in its design, breathes for you now perfectly, rhythmically, without thought, without effort. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock, responds primarily to light, and studies show that even through closed eyelids, light exposure can affect this clock. But now, in darkness or dim light, this clock is signaling that the biological night has arrived, and your whole being responds to this ancient signal with the approach of sleep. Scientists observe that the very last moment before sleep is usually not remembered. There's a brief period where consciousness remains, but memory formation has already stopped. You won't remember falling asleep tonight, and that's perfect. That's normal. Crossing into sleep without witness, without record, just crossing. Your brain operates through electrical rhythms that scientists call brain waves, and during deep sleep, these waves slow to just 1 or 2 cycles per second. Studies indicate these are called delta waves, the slowest, most synchronized, most peaceful of all brain rhythms. You're beginning the journey toward these deep delta waves now. Research shows that each complete sleep cycle lasts approximately 90 to 110 minutes, and tonight you'll experience 4 or 5 of these cycles, each one a journey through different depths of consciousness. Trust your brain to navigate these cycles perfectly without your help. Scientists have discovered that during the first sleep cycle, you spend more time in deep sleep, the most restorative stage. Your brain prioritizes what you need most after a long day. deep sleep comes first for physical restoration, for immune support, for cellular repair. Your brain knows what you need. The pons, a region in your brainstem, plays a crucial role in sleep regulation. Studies suggest this structure helps coordinate the timing of sleep stages. Right now, your pons is conducting a silent symphony, orchestrating the transition from light sleep toward deeper stages, beat by beat, breath by breath. Research indicates that sleep spindles, those brief bursts of brain activity, appear more frequently as you descend into deeper sleep. Each spindle, lasting only a second, helps protect your sleep from disturbances. Your brain is generating these protective shields right now, creating safety, creating peace, creating undisturbed rest. Scientists observe that during stage 2 sleep, which you may be entering now, your body temperature continues to drop. This cooling is essential for deep sleep. Studies show that the optimal temperature for sleep is cooler than most people keep their bedrooms, but your body adjusts internally, creating the perfect climate for rest. The sleep hormone melatonin doesn't just trigger sleep. Research suggests it also acts as a powerful antioxidant. Throughout the night, melatonin molecules circulate through your system, neutralizing free radicals, protecting cells from oxidative damage. Healing is happening even in this moment, beyond consciousness, beyond control. Studies show that your growth hormone reaches peak levels during deep sleep. This hormone, despite its name, isn't just for growing children. In adults, it promotes tissue repair, muscle recovery, bone density. Tonight, while you sleep, your body rebuilds itself stronger than before. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, your brain cells actually shrink by about 60%. This shrinkage allows cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely between cells, washing away metabolic waste products. Your brain is preparing this cleaning process now, making space for tomorrow's clarity. Research indicates that the consolidation of motor skills happens primarily during stage 2 sleep. If you learned any physical skill today, practiced any movement, your brain will strengthen these neural pathways tonight automatically, effortlessly while you rest. The locus coeruleus, the brain's primary source of norepinephrine, becomes almost completely silent during deep sleep. Studies show this silence, this pause and alertness is one of the only times this structure fully rests. Right now, your locus coeruleus is beginning its nightly quieting, releasing the need for vigilance. Scientists observe that heart rate variability, the variation between heartbeats, increases during healthy sleep. This increase indicates strong parasympathetic activity, the relaxation response. Your heart is finding its most variable, most flexible, most peaceful rhythm now. Research suggests that the barriers between your blood and your brain become slightly more permeable during sleep. This increased permeability allows certain molecules to cross more easily, supporting brain maintenance. Your brain is opening in subtle ways, allowing healing to enter. Studies show that during deep sleep, your muscles are completely relaxed, yet not paralyzed. You can still shift positions naturally, automatically, without waking. Your body moves with wisdom, adjusting for comfort, for circulation, guided by unconscious intelligence. The thalamus, usually the gatekeeper of sensory information, reduces its activity dramatically during deep sleep. Scientists observe this creates a sensory blackout. The world can't reach you now. Sounds fade, sensations dim. You're protected in deep silence, deep darkness, deep peace. Research indicates that during deep sleep, your breathing pattern becomes remarkably regular. Unlike the variable breathing of wakefulness, sleep breathing follows a steady rhythm. Feel this steadiness developing now, in and out, like waves on a calm shore, eternal, unchanging. Scientists have discovered that slow wave sleep, the deepest sleep, generates brainwaves so large they can be seen without amplification. These huge, slow waves rolling across your cortex represent millions of neurons firing in perfect synchrony. Your brain is creating these massive waves now, carrying you deeper. Studies show that your kidneys reduce urine production during sleep. This conservation allows you to sleep through the night without interruption. Even your kidneys understand the sacred importance of unbroken rest, adjusting their function to protect your sleep. Research suggests that emotional memories are processed differently during sleep. The emotional intensity may be preserved while the stressful arousal decreases. Your brain is preparing to heal emotional wounds tonight, softening painful memories, keeping wisdom, releasing pain. The cerebellum, involved in coordination, shows specific activity patterns during sleep. Scientists observe these patterns may support the unconscious learning of motor sequences. Your cerebellum works tonight, integrating everything your body learned today about moving through the world. Studies indicate that blood pressure reaches its lowest point around 3 in the morning during what's called the nocturnal dip. This profound relaxation of your cardiovascular system provides essential rest for your heart, your arteries, your entire circulatory system. Tonight, your blood pressure will find this healing low point naturally. Scientists have observed that the glial cells, supporting cells in your brain, become more active during sleep. These cells provide energy to neurons, remove waste, regulate the brain's environment. While neurons rest, glia work harder, maintaining, cleaning, supporting the sleeping brain. Research shows that your ability to form new memories is blocked during sleep. The hippocampus shifts from encoding mode to consolidation mode. Tonight you won't remember most of your dreams, won't remember these words, won't remember anything, just rest. The sensation of heaviness that deepens with sleep relates to changes in how your brain represents your body. Scientists suggest your internal body map becomes less precise, less detailed, more vague. You might feel impossibly heavy or weightless, and both feelings are equally valid, equally peaceful. Studies indicate that during deep sleep, your muscle tone reaches its lowest point except during REM. This profound relaxation allows maximum recovery from physical exertion. Every fiber of every muscle is releasing, softening, recovering, preparing for tomorrow without your awareness, without your effort. Research suggests that the balance of sodium and potassium across cell membranes shifts during sleep. These ionic changes affect neuronal excitability, making it harder for neurons to fire. Your brain chemistry is changing, becoming less excitable, more stable, more resistant to arousal. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, new connections form between previously unrelated pieces of information. This creative recombination happens unconsciously, producing insights, solutions, innovations. Tonight, your sleeping brain may solve problems you couldn't solve while awake. Studies show that the enzyme telomerase, which maintains chromosome ends, increases activity during sleep. This enzyme is linked to cellular aging, Sleep may literally slow aging at the chromosomal level. Each night offers biological rejuvenation, happening now in every cell. The ventromedial prefrontal cortex, involved in processing emotions, shows interesting patterns during sleep. Research indicates this region may help integrate emotional experiences with semantic knowledge. Your emotions and your understanding are being woven together tonight, creating wisdom from experience. Scientists observe that saliva production nearly stops during sleep. This dramatic decrease is part of the parasympathetic program. Your digestive system, from mouth to intestine, enters a restful state, conserving energy for other, more essential nighttime processes. Research suggests that acoustic startle responses are diminished during deep sleep. Sudden sounds that would make you jump while awake barely register in deep sleep. Your nervous system finds a level of peace so profound that even loud noises can't disturb the depths you're approaching. Studies show that the proteins building up in your brain, particularly beta amyloid, are cleared more efficiently during sleep. These proteins associated with neurodegenerative conditions are washed away each night. Sleep protects your brain for decades to come, starting tonight, starting now. The brain's cholinergic system, involving acetylcholine, varies dramatically between sleep stages. Scientists observe that in deep sleep, cholinergic activity drops to very low levels. This decrease reduces cognitive processing, prevents memory formation, allows pure rest without thought, without awareness. Research indicates that your eyes beneath closed lids remain still during deep sleep. Unlike REM sleep with its rapid movements, deep sleep brings eye stillness. Your eyes rest completely, requiring no movement, no tracking, no focus, just peaceful immobility. Scientists have discovered that neural replay happens during sleep. Experiences from your day fire again in compressed time at high speed. This replay strengthens important memories, integrates new learning. Tonight, your day plays again silently, invisibly, consolidating what matters most. Studies show that interleukin-1 and TNF-alpha immune signaling molecules increase during sleep. These cytokines promote the immune system's nighttime activities. Your immune cells become more active, more vigilant, more powerful while you rest, while you dream, protected. The pontine tegmentum in your brainstem generates specific patterns called PGO waves primarily during REM sleep. Research suggests these waves may help generate dream imagery. Your brainstem is preparing tonight to create the private movies of your dreams. Scientists observe that cerebral blood flow redistributes during sleep. Some areas receive more, some less, according to the brain's current needs. This intelligent distribution ensures optimal function of sleep processes, repair, consolidation, cleaning, all receiving adequate blood supply. Research indicates that your perception of pain decreases during sleep. The pain threshold, how much stimulation is needed to cause pain, increases significantly. Sleep itself acts as natural pain relief, allowing healing, reducing suffering, bringing comfort. Studies show that the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock, continues functioning during sleep. Even while asleep, this clock tracks time, prepares your body for morning. Your internal sense of time passing persists in the depths of your sleeping brain. The release of cortisol, your stress hormone, reaches its lowest point around midnight. Scientists observe this deep trough allows your body to maximize anti-inflammatory processes. Inflammation decreases tonight in your joints, your tissues, your blood vessels, healing under cortisol's nightly absence. Research suggests that the blood-brain barrier is maintained differently during sleep. Certain transport mechanisms become more active, others less. This dynamic regulation ensures your brain receives exactly what it needs when it needs it throughout the night stages. Scientists have discovered that synaptic homeostasis, the strengthening and weakening of neural connections, happens primarily during sleep. Today's important connections are strengthened, unimportant ones pruned away. Your brain becomes more efficient, more precise, more intelligent while you sleep. Studies show that your body's production of leptin and ghrelin, hormones regulating hunger, is influenced by sleep quality. During deep sleep, these hormones rebalance. Tonight's sleep affects tomorrow's appetite, metabolism, energy levels in ways completely automatic, completely beneficial. The sensation of time dilation during dreams relates to how the brain processes temporal information during REM sleep. Research indicates moments can feel like hours, hours can vanish instantly. Later tonight you may experience impossible timescales in dreams, unbound by physics or logic. Scientists observe that your muscle spindles, sensory receptors within muscles, reduce their activity during deep sleep. This decrease contributes to the feeling of profound relaxation. Your muscles don't just relax, they stop sensing themselves, entering a state beyond normal rest. Research suggests that brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein supporting neuron survival and growth, increases during sleep. This factor enhances neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt. Every night, your brain becomes more capable of learning, of growing, of transforming. Studies show that your core body temperature continues decreasing, reaching its lowest point around 4 or 5 in the morning. This temperature nadir corresponds with the deepest circadian sleep drive. Your body knows when sleep should be deepest and orchestrates all systems to support that depth. The anterior cingulate cortex, involved in attention and cognitive control, shows reduced activity during deep sleep. Scientists observe this. Reduction allows your brain to stop monitoring, stop controlling, stop managing. Tonight, you're released from the burden of self-control, just existing, just resting. Research indicates that your hair follicles grow more actively during sleep. Cell division in hair follicles peaks at night. Even your hair grows while you rest. Your body is building, creating, regenerating at every level, from brain cells to hair cells. Scientists have discovered that memories of emotional events are selectively strengthened during sleep. Studies suggest the amygdala reactivates during sleep, tagging important emotional memories for preservation. Your brain decides tonight which feelings, which moments deserve permanent storage. The nucleus accumbens, your brain's reward center, shows interesting patterns during sleep. Research indicates it remains somewhat active, possibly processing rewarding aspects of your day's experiences. Perhaps tonight your brain savors pleasant memories unconsciously, increasing contentment. Studies show that your skin's barrier function repairs itself most actively during sleep. Increased blood flow to the skin, enhanced cellular repair occurs nightly. Your skin grows healthier, more resilient, more radiant while you sleep tonight, every night. Scientists observe that the lateral hypothalamus, which produces orexin, a wakefulness-promoting chemical, becomes less active during sleep. This decrease removes the drive to stay awake. Without orexin signal, wakefulness becomes impossible, sleep becomes inevitable. Research suggests that your bone marrow produces more immune cells during sleep. B cells, T cells, natural killer cells all increase in number nightly. Your immune army grows stronger while you rest, preparing defenses for tomorrow's challenges. The sensation of floating that sometimes accompanies deep relaxation relates to reduced proprioceptive input. Scientists observe your brain's representation of body position becomes unreliable, creating feelings of movement or weightlessness. Let yourself float now. It's completely safe to lose track of your body's position. Studies show that your tear production decreases during sleep. Your eyes, closed and still, require no lubrication. This conservation of resources is part of sleep's remarkable efficiency. Every system adjusts perfectly for the state of rest. Research indicates that mitochondria, the powerhouses of cells, undergo repair preferentially during sleep. These tiny organelles that generate cellular energy are maintained, cleaned, optimized tonight. Tomorrow's energy is being prepared right now in billions of mitochondria. Scientists have discovered that the dentate gyrus, part of the hippocampus, may generate new neurons in adults. This neurogenesis appears to be enhanced by sleep. New brain cells may be born tonight in your hippocampus, ready to form tomorrow's memories. Studies show that your breathing may include occasional sighs even during sleep. These spontaneous deep breaths help maintain lung elasticity. Your body breathes itself perfectly, including these deeper breaths without your awareness, without your control, just breathing you. The superior colliculus, involved in orienting towards stimuli, reduces activity during sleep. Research suggests this reduction prevents you from constantly orienting towards small sounds or movements. Your attention is released from its duty of vigilance, entering complete rest. Scientists observe that oligodendrocytes, cells that insulate neural connections, become more active during sleep. These cells wrap myelin around axons, improving signal speed. Tonight, your brain's wiring is being upgraded, made faster, made more efficient. Research indicates that the enzyme that produces nitric oxide is more active during sleep. Nitric oxide helps blood vessels dilate, improving circulation. Blood flows more freely tonight, carrying oxygen, nutrients, healing factors to every tissue requiring them. Studies show that your swallowing reflex is reduced during sleep. This decrease is normal, is safe. You naturally swallow less frequently, conserving the energy this action requires. Your body knows when to conserve, when to act, choosing conservation now. The sensation of darkness that pervades sleep isn't just closed eyes. Scientists observe the visual cortex actively decreases its background activity. Darkness becomes deeper, more complete, more total than simple eye closure. True neural darkness. Research suggests that your sense of self, the feeling of being a continuous person, may fragment during deep sleep. The default mode network associated with self-awareness reduces activity. Perhaps for portions of tonight, you won't exist as you, just awareness without identity. Scientists have discovered that protein synthesis, the creation of new proteins, increases during sleep. These proteins form structures, enzymes, receptors, everything your body needs. Tonight, you're being rebuilt molecule by molecule, protein by protein, cell by cell. Studies show that your body's pH balance shifts slightly during sleep. This shift optimizes conditions for various biochemical processes. Even the acidity of your blood, of your cells, adjusts for nighttime, for restoration, for repair. The sensation of time becoming meaningless during deep sleep reflects the shutdown of timing mechanisms. Research indicates your brain's ability to track duration largely disappears. Hours pass feeling like moments, or not feeling like anything at all. Scientists observe that your reflexes, like the knee-jerk reflex, are dampened during deep sleep. The neural circuits mediating reflexes are partially suppressed. Your body enters a state beyond responsiveness, beyond reaction, pure, profound stillness. Research suggests that the vagus nerve, that great wandering nerve, increases its activity during sleep. This increased vagal tone promotes healing, reduces inflammation, calms all the organs it touches. Feel this nerve working quietly, healing deeply throughout the night. Studies show that your liver performs different functions at night than during the day. Circadian rhythms in liver cells shift metabolism toward repair and detoxification. Your liver works differently tonight, cleaning blood, processing toxins, preparing for tomorrow's tasks. Scientists have discovered that the sensation of dissolution, feeling like you're melting or merging with your surroundings, can occur during deep relaxation. This boundary loss is your brain reducing the effort of distinguishing self from environment. Let boundaries dissolve now safely, peacefully. Research indicates that your intestinal bacteria, your microbiome, has its own circadian rhythm. The composition of gut bacteria actually changes throughout the night. These microscopic organisms working within you follow their own nightly patterns. Studies show that the pressure of cerebrospinal fluid varies with sleep stages. During deep sleep, this pressure decreases, allowing better waste clearance. Your brain's hydraulic system operates perfectly without your knowledge, draining away metabolic waste, creating clarity. Scientists observe that your pancreas releases less insulin during sleep. This decrease reflects reduced glucose needs during rest. Every organ, every gland, every system adjusts its function perfectly for nighttime's different demands. The phenomenon of sleep inertia, that grogginess upon waking, relates to how slowly certain brain regions reactivate. Research suggests the prefrontal cortex takes longest to fully wake, but now moving into sleep, not out of it. There's no inertia to fight, only momentum toward deeper rest. Studies show that your adipose tissue, fat cells, releases leptin throughout the night. This hormone signals satiety and regulates energy balance. Your fat tissue communicates with your brain all night long, maintaining metabolic harmony. Research indicates that auditory processing during sleep still occurs, but differently. Your brain can detect important sounds like alarms or your name while filtering out meaningless noise. These words are becoming part of the filtered background, fading into irrelevance. Scientists have discovered that the sensation of heaviness or lightness in specific body parts during sleep relates to local blood flow changes. Increased blood flow might create warmth or heaviness, decreased flow, coolness or lightness. These sensations are normal, are safe, are part of sleep's landscape. Studies show that your pupils continue to constrict even in darkness during sleep. This superconstriction serves no visual purpose but may reflect deep parasympathetic activity. Your whole nervous system is expressing the deepest possible relaxation. The zona incerta, a small region in your subthalamus, shows activity changes during sleep. Scientists observe this structure may help suppress motor activity, contributing to the stillness of sleep. Your body is held gently by brain structures you've never heard of, keeping you safe, keeping you still. Research suggests that your adrenal glands, which produce stress hormones, largely rest during the night. This adrenal quieting allows recovery from the day's demands. Tonight, these glands above your kidneys take their essential rest period. Scientists have discovered that working memory, the ability to hold information temporarily, essentially vanishes during deep sleep. You can't hold thoughts, sequences, plans. This cognitive inability is perfect for tonight. There's nothing to remember, nothing to hold, just let go. Studies show that your immune system's T cells show enhanced functionality after sleep. These cells, which fight infection and cancer, are strengthened by tonight's rest. Your immune defense grows more powerful with every hour of sleep. The sensation of warmth spreading through your body as you relax relates to vasodilation. Research indicates blood vessels, particularly in extremities, widen, releasing heat from your core. Feel that spreading warmth now or coolness. Either sensation leads equally toward sleep. Scientists observe that the sensation of your breath might feel distant, almost like you're observing someone else breathing. This dissociation from bodily functions is normal in deep relaxation. Your breath continues whether you're aware of it or not. Research suggests that your muscles might twitch occasionally during sleep onset. These myoclonic jerks are completely normal, harmless. They represent your nervous system transitioning between states. Welcome these twitches as signs of successful relaxation. Studies show that your creativity might actually increase during sleep. The unusual associations made by your sleeping brain can produce genuine insights. Problems you couldn't solve awake may find solutions tonight in sleep's different mode of thinking. The sensation of falling, sinking, descending is neither metaphor nor imagination. Scientists observe your brain genuinely perceives downward movement as muscle tone decreases. You are falling now safely, endlessly, into the depths of sleep, letting gravity pull you down toward rest. As you move through the night, you'll eventually enter REM sleep, where most vivid dreams occur. Research shows that during REM, your eyes move rapidly beneath closed lids, following dream imagery. Your brain creates a visual world complete and convincing while you remain safely still in bed. Scientists have discovered that during REM sleep, your voluntary muscles become temporarily paralyzed. This atonia prevents you from acting out dreams. Only your diaphragm and eye muscles remain active. This paralysis is protection, is safety, keeping your body still while your mind travels. Studies show that during REM sleep, brain activity can actually exceed waking levels. Your brain consumes as much oxygen as when awake, sometimes more. This intense activity serves mysterious purposes: emotional processing, memory integration, creativity enhancement. Research indicates that the brainstem generates a specific pattern called PGO waves during REM sleep. These waves travel from pons through geniculate to occipital cortex, stimulating visual areas, creating dream imagery. Your brainstem is preparing to generate tonight's private visual theater. Scientists observe that during REM sleep, your breathing becomes irregular, almost like waking, but you're deeply asleep. Heart rate varies, blood pressure fluctuates. Your body reflects the emotion of your dreams, responding to imagined events as if real. The phenomenon of lucid dreaming, awareness that you're dreaming while still asleep, occurs most often during REM sleep. Research suggests about half of people experience this occasionally. Tonight, you might become aware inside a dream, or might not. Either way is perfect. Studies show that emotional memories are preferentially reactivated during REM sleep. Your amygdala, emotion center, becomes highly active, while the prefrontal cortex, logic center, reduces activity. This combination allows emotional processing without rational interference. Scientists have discovered that during REM sleep, your brain may actually forget certain things intentionally. Not all memories deserve preservation. Your sleeping brain decides what to keep and what to release, pruning away the unnecessary, the painful, the trivial. Research suggests that temperature regulation, normally maintained by your hypothalamus, is partially suspended during REM sleep. Your body temperature drifts slightly toward ambient temperature. This temporary poikilothermy is one of sleep's strangest features. Studies show that newborn humans spend about half of their sleep time in REM. Adults spend only about 20 to 25%. Scientists believe REM sleep helps develop neural connections in infant brains. Even now as adults, REM continues to reshape your brain. The sensation of impossible events seeming normal during dreams relates to reduced activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This region normally maintains logical consistency. Asleep, this logic monitor goes offline. Flying, breathing underwater, meeting the dead all seem completely reasonable. Scientists observe that your middle ear muscles, the smallest muscles in your body, remain active during REM sleep. These muscles, called stapedius and tensor tympani, may protect your ears from the sound of your own dream speech. Your body protects you in ways you never consciously know. Research indicates that during REM sleep, men experience penile erections, women experience clitoral engorgement. These reflexes happen automatically, unrelated to dream content. Your body goes through programmed cycles beyond consciousness, beyond control. Studies show that if woken during REM sleep, you'll likely remember your dream. If woken during deep sleep, dream recall is much less. But tonight, you won't be woken. You'll drift through all stages naturally, forgetting most dreams, remembering maybe one or two. Scientists have discovered that during REM sleep, your visual cortex shows activity patterns similar to actually seeing. Your brain generates imagery so convincing it cannot distinguish dream vision from real vision. Tonight's dreams will seem absolutely real. The phenomenon of sleep paralysis, waking up briefly, unable to move, occurs when consciousness returns before muscle paralysis has lifted. Research suggests this happens to most people at least once. If it happens, remember it's temporary, harmless, passing in moments. Studies show that during REM sleep, your brain's thermostat largely stops working. You don't shiver if cold, don't sweat if hot. Your body accepts whatever temperature exists. This vulnerability requires the safety of shelter, of blankets, of bed. Research indicates that the dreams occurring during REM sleep late in the night are typically longer, more complex, more bizarre than early dreams. Your longest, strangest dreams are still hours away, developing slowly as the night progresses. Scientists observe that during REM sleep, the neurotransmitter acetylcholine increases dramatically. This surge may contribute to dream generation, to memory formation, to the unique cognition of the dreaming mind. Your brain chemistry shifts radically between states creating entirely different modes of being. Studies show that people born blind experience dreams but without visual imagery. Their dreams contain sounds, touches, smells, emotions. The dreaming brain works with whatever senses are available, creating complete experiences regardless of sensory limitations. The sensation of narrative coherence in dreams is often illusory. Research suggests dreams may actually be fragmentary and disconnected, but your brain, upon waking, creates a story to explain the fragments. Memory itself is storytelling, especially for dreams. Scientists have discovered that external stimuli can sometimes incorporate into dreams. A ringing phone becomes a dream phone, rain sounds become dream rain. Your sleeping brain weaves reality into fiction, creating explanations for perceptions that maintain the dream. Research indicates that recurring dreams, common dreams shared across cultures, may reflect universal concerns. Flying dreams, falling dreams, being chased, showing up naked, these themes appear globally. Tonight, you might experience an ancient dream dreamed by humans for millennia. Studies show that during REM sleep, your spinal reflexes are actively suppressed by inhibitory signals from the brainstem. This suppression is what prevents dream movement. Occasionally, in some people, this suppression fails, but for most, the system works perfectly, keeping you safe. Scientists observe that the ability to recognize dream imagery as memory versus imagination versus current perception breaks down in sleep. Everything seems currently real. Past, present, future collapse into one eternal dream present. Research suggests that problem solving in dreams can actually work. Famous discoveries, inventions, creative works have emerged from dreams. Tonight, your brain works on problems beyond consciousness, beyond effort, potentially finding what waking mind could not. The sensation of flying in dreams may relate to the body's actual physiological state. Research indicates the sensation of weightlessness during REM, combined with suppressed movement, might generate flight dreams. Your body's actual state creates impossible abilities in dream worlds. Studies show that nightmares peak in frequency during late-night REM periods. The longest, most emotional REM periods occur after several hours of sleep. Most nightmares, if any, tonight will come near morning, giving you hours of peaceful, undisturbed rest first. Scientists have discovered that the ability to learn from dreams extends beyond human cognition. Research with animals shows that sleeping rats replay maze solutions at high speed. Learning, consolidation, integration happens across all sleeping species, including you tonight. Research indicates that the subjective experience of time in dreams can vastly differ from actual time. Dream events seeming to last hours occur in minutes or seconds. Tonight, you might live lifetimes in moments, experiencing impossible time dilation. Studies show that sleep deprivation increases REM pressure. The longer you've been awake, the more your brain demands REM sleep. If you're tired tonight, you'll enter REM more quickly, more often, getting what you most need. The sensation of certainty in dreams that impossible things are normal reflects the sleeping brain's acceptance mode. Critical thinking largely disappears. Whatever happens seems correct, seems logical, seems exactly as it should be. Scientists observe that during sleep, your brain oscillates between stability and flexibility. Some networks maintain stable patterns, others explore new configurations. This balance between preservation and plasticity allows learning without forgetting, integration without disruption. Research suggests that the immune system's memory of past infections may strengthen during sleep. Memory B cells and memory T cells are maintained and enhanced. Your body remembers its battles better after tonight's sleep, ready for future challenges. Studies show that during deep sleep earlier in the night, slow waves help replay declarative memories, facts, and events. During REM later, procedural memories, skills, and sequences are consolidated. Your brain schedules different memory types for different sleep stages. The phenomenon of false awakenings, dreaming that you've woken up only to actually wake, can occur multiple times in one night. These nested awakenings question the nature of consciousness itself. How do you know right now you're actually in bed, not dreaming of being in bed? Scientists have discovered that the claustrum, that thin sheet of neurons, may synchronize cortical activity. During sleep, this synchronization changes dramatically. The claustrum might be consciousness's conductor, changing its rhythm for different states: waking, sleeping, dreaming. Research indicates that during REM sleep, your brain's reward system, particularly nucleus accumbens, shows activity suggesting that dreams might be intrinsically rewarding. Perhaps beyond content, the act of dreaming is itself pleasurable, desired, sought by your sleeping brain. Studies show that sleep after learning is better than an equal period of wakefulness for memory retention. Tonight's sleep will cement today's experiences, making them permanent, accessible, integrated into your life story. The sensation of your mind becoming quiet, thoughts slowing, spacing out, then disappearing marks the final transition into sleep. This dissolution of the mental stream isn't death, isn't loss, just transformation into different modes of consciousness. Scientists observe that the sensation of peaceful surrender that accompanies sleep onset involves specific neural pathways. The ventrolateral preoptic area sends inhibitory signals to arousal centers. This active inhibition creates peace, creates quiet, creates the neurological permission to let go. Research suggests that during sleep, your motor cortex may actually strengthen connections for movements you practice today. Every gesture, every action, every practiced motion is refined tonight, improved slightly, integrated more deeply into automaticity. Studies show that your gene expression, the actual reading of DNA, changes dramatically during sleep. Some genes active during waking turn off, others turn on. You are literally becoming biologically different tonight at the genetic transcription level. The phenomenon of exploding head syndrome, a harmless condition where you hear a loud bang while falling asleep, relates to neurons in auditory areas firing synchronously. If this happens, it's benign, momentary, meaningless, just neurons misfiring during transition. Scientists have discovered that the sensation of profound stillness during deep sleep isn't merely absence of movement. Brain monitoring shows active suppression of motor programs. Stillness is achieved not merely by doing nothing, but by actively preventing movement. Research indicates that during sleep, your muscles perform isometric contractions too subtle to detect. These microcontractions maintain muscle tone, prevent atrophy, keep muscles ready for tomorrow's activity. Even in stillness, subtle work continues. Studies show that circadian rhythms persist even in constant darkness. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus keeps time, independently for weeks or months. This master clock runs continuously throughout tonight, keeping your body temporally organized even in sleep's timelessness. Scientists observe that the transition between sleep stages happens gradually, not suddenly. You don't leap from light to deep, but descend slowly, steadily, through gradations of consciousness. Right now, you're on that descent, moving smoothly, inevitably toward deeper states. Research suggests that emotional regulation improves after sleep. The balance between amygdala and prefrontal cortex is restored. Tomorrow, you'll handle emotions better, think more clearly, respond more wisely because of tonight's sleep happening now. Studies show that your gut microbiome, your intestinal bacteria, produce neurotransmitters during the night. GABA, serotonin, dopamine, created by bacteria in your intestines, affect your brain. Your gut is helping you sleep right now, producing calming chemicals. The sensation of safety and peace that allows sleep requires specific brain states. The amygdala must quiet, stress hormones must decrease, vigilance must cease. Right now, your brain is determining it's safe to be unconscious. Trust this ancient assessment, millions of years of evolution declaring safety now. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, synaptic connections in your brain actually decrease in size and strength. This synaptic downscaling, called synaptic homeostasis, prevents networks from becoming oversaturated. Tonight, your brain prunes itself, becoming more efficient, more capable, more refined. Research indicates that the first third of the night contains the most deep sleep. The middle third balances deep and REM. The final third contains the most REM sleep. This architecture serves different purposes at different times, unfolding perfectly without your planning, without your control. Studies show that your pancreatic beta cells, which produce insulin, follow circadian rhythms. During sleep, insulin secretion decreases, matching reduced glucose needs. Your blood sugar stabilizes tonight through hormonal precision, maintaining perfect metabolic balance. Scientists observe that the sensation of your bed becoming undefined, losing boundaries, reflects reduced somatosensory input. Your brain receives fewer signals from pressure receptors in your skin. The physical world begins fading. You float in undefined space. Research suggests that astrocytes, star-shaped brain cells, play crucial roles during sleep. These cells regulate the sleep-wake cycle, control extracellular space, facilitate waste clearance. While neurons get attention, astrocytes work quietly, making sleep possible. Studies show that your cognitive abilities, math, language, logic, essentially vanish during deep sleep. You cannot solve problems, cannot think critically. This cognitive absence isn't failure, it's success, complete release from the burden of thinking. The sensation of random thoughts, images, sensations arising, unbidden as you fall asleep, represents loosening executive control. Your prefrontal cortex releases its grip on cognition. Thoughts arise spontaneously, disconnected, strange, leading toward dreams. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, the blood-brain barrier changes permeability to specific molecules. Some cross more easily, others less. This dynamic regulation ensures optimal brain chemistry throughout the night stages. Research indicates that the volume of extracellular space in your brain increases by 60% during sleep. This expansion allows cerebrospinal fluid to flow freely, washing away accumulated waste. Your brain quite literally has more space during sleep for cleaning. Studies show that your bone mass is maintained through processes that occur primarily at night. Bone resorption and formation follow circadian patterns. Tonight, your skeleton quietly, imperceptibly rebuilds itself, maintaining strength that lasts decades. Scientists observe that during REM sleep, your brain generates theta waves in the hippocampus. These waves coordinate timing of neural firing, facilitating memory consolidation. Your memories are being woven into lasting neural patterns right now. Research suggests that the sensation of gentle pressure of blankets or sheets decreases dramatically during deep sleep. Pressure receptors in your skin reduce their signaling. The weight you felt before seems to vanish, leaving you feeling almost weightless. Studies show that your natural killer cells, part of immune defense, increase activity during sleep. These cells patrol your body, destroying infected cells and cancer cells. Tonight, your immune surveillance intensifies, protecting you while you rest, unaware. The phenomenon of sleep talking or somniloquy can occur in any stage but is most common during transitions. If you speak tonight, you won't remember. Your words, emerging from semi-conscious states, mean little, accomplish nothing, just neural noise escaping into sound. Scientists have discovered that myelin, the insulation around neural connections, is maintained and repaired during sleep. Oligodendrocytes produce new myelin, wrap existing axons more completely. Your brain's wiring grows faster, more efficient tonight. Research indicates that during sleep, your liver mobilizes glycogen, maintaining blood glucose throughout the night. This metabolic management requires no consciousness, no awareness. Your liver faithfully keeps you alive while you sleep, asking nothing, giving everything. Studies show that your olfactory bulb, processing smell, reduces activity during sleep. Odors that would wake you while drowsy go unnoticed in deep sleep. The world of scent has disappeared completely, leaving only darkness, silence, peace. Scientists observe that the boundary between self and environment, maintained by complex neural processes, dissolves during deep sleep. You don't know where you end and the world begins. This dissolution is not confusion. It's liberation from the burden of separateness. Research suggests that your heart muscle receives its best blood supply during sleep. Coronary arteries relax, blood pressure drops, cardiac workload decreases. Tonight, your heart gets the rest it desperately needs. Studies show that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize, peaks during sleep. The connections most used today are strengthened. The connections rarely used weaken. Your brain reshapes itself tonight, becoming better suited for your life, your needs, your world. The sensation of time compression, where hours feel like moments, relates to memory consolidation. Research indicates periods without memory formation seem timeless. Tonight, you'll experience 8 hours that feel like nothing, time collapsing into a single point. Scientists have discovered that during REM sleep, newly learned information integrates with existing knowledge structures. Facts become connected, insights emerge. Isolated pieces of information become organized understanding, wisdom developing from information. Research indicates that your sebaceous glands, producing skin oils, increase production during sleep. This overnight secretion helps maintain skin barrier function, keeping your skin healthy, supple, moisturized while you unconsciously rest. Studies show that sleep spindles, those brief bursts, increase with age through adolescence, then plateau. These spindles protect your sleep from disturbances. Your brain has learned through years how to sleep more efficiently, more deeply, more protectively. Scientists observe that during deep sleep, your ability to sense pain reaches its lowest point. Nociceptors still register tissue damage, but the signal rarely reaches consciousness. Tonight, if minor pains troubled you, they fade into irrelevance. Research suggests that your vocal cords relax during sleep but maintain slight tension. This maintains airway patency, preventing collapse. Your body's wisdom keeps airways open, breathing effortless, without your awareness, without your effort, just breathing you. Studies show that your sweat glands reduce output during sleep. This conservation of water is part of nighttime physiology. You're not becoming dehydrated, just optimizing fluid balance for hours without water intake. The sensation of your thoughts becoming incomprehensible, losing coherence, dissolving into nonsense marks the transition into sleep. This cognitive dissolution isn't failure, it's success. Your thinking mind releases control, allowing deeper awareness to emerge. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, dendritic spines, small protrusions on neurons, grow and retract. This constant remodeling allows neural networks to adapt, to optimize, to improve. Your brain is physically reshaping tonight at the microscopic level. Research indicates that during sleep, your body produces more white blood cells, neutrophils, monocytes, lymphocytes all increase. Your immune system operates at enhanced capacity tonight, building defenses, preparing for tomorrow's exposures. Studies show that sleepwalking or somnambulism occurs during deep sleep, not REM. The motor suppression of REM is absent in deep sleep, occasionally allowing complex behaviors while unconscious. If this happens tonight, you'll likely not remember. Returning safely to bed, scientists observe that the locus coeruleus, which produces norepinephrine, is completely silent during REM sleep. This is the only time this nucleus stops firing. This complete cessation creates conditions impossible during waking life, unique to dream sleep. Research suggests that your circadian rhythm continues affecting physiology throughout the night. Body temperature, hormone levels, cell division all follow temporal programs. You're not just sleeping, you're participating in ancient biological timing inherited from countless generations. Studies show that during sleep, your muscles produce creatine phosphate. This energy molecule replenishes during rest, preparing muscles for tomorrow's exertion. Strength returns during sleep, energy regenerates, power restores automatically. The sensation of paralysis in REM sleep occurs because signals from motor cortex are blocked at the brainstem. Research indicates glycine and GABA inhibit motor neurons completely. Your body cannot move in dreams, protected from potential harm. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, your pupils respond slightly to dream content. Bright dreams cause constriction, dark dreams cause dilation. Even in sleep, your eyes react to imagined visual worlds. Research indicates that your wound healing accelerates during sleep. Cell proliferation, tissue repair, inflammation resolution all improve at night. If you're injured, tonight's sleep speeds recovery more effectively than any medicine. Studies show that your brain produces more antioxidants during sleep. These molecules neutralize free radicals, preventing cellular damage. Sleep itself is anti-aging, protective, restorative at the molecular chemical level. Scientists observe that during sleep, your sense of equilibrium, your balance sense, largely disappears. The vestibular system maintains function, but conscious awareness of body position vanishes. You float in undefined space, neither up nor down, just being. Research suggests that the sleep pressure built during waking dissipates throughout the night. Each cycle reduces pressure slightly. By morning, the adenosine that accumulated all day yesterday will be almost gone, leaving you refreshed, renewed, ready. Studies show that your bladder produces less urine during sleep. Antidiuretic hormone increases at night, concentrating urine, reducing volume. This allows uninterrupted sleep for hours without bathroom urgency, your body protecting your rest. The phenomenon of sleep debt accumulates with insufficient sleep, but tonight you're reducing that debt. Every hour tonight pays back sleep deficit, restoring balance to your sleep account. Moving toward equilibrium, scientists have discovered that during sleep, your neurons actually shrink by about 15%. This shrinkage allows better waste clearance, more efficient fluid flow through brain tissue. Tomorrow morning, your neurons will expand again, cleaned, refreshed, renewed. Research indicates that your spleen stores red blood cells, releasing them during certain sleep stages. This circulatory adjustment optimizes oxygen delivery throughout changing metabolic demands of sleep stages. Studies show that during sleep, your arteries undergo repair, endothelial cells lining blood vessels regenerate, inflammation decreases, vascular health improves. Every night, your circulatory system becomes slightly healthier, slightly stronger. Scientists observe that the sensation of existing in timeless space during deep sleep reflects the shutdown of temporal processing. Brain regions tracking duration, sequences, chronology reduce activity dramatically. Time stops, not metaphorically, but neurologically. Research suggests that your neurons communicate through both electrical and chemical signals. And during sleep, the chemical signaling changes profoundly. Neurotransmitter ratios shift, creating states impossible to achieve while awake. Studies show that your stomach continues digesting during sleep, but more slowly. Peristaltic waves decrease frequency, digestion slows, allowing energy to shift toward repair, toward recovery, toward restoration. The sensation of profound comfort that ideally accompanies sleep involves endorphins, natural opioids produced by your brain. These molecules create feelings of well-being, of safety, of peace, washing through your system right now. Scientists have discovered that your hippocampus and neocortex engage in dialogue during sleep. The hippocampus sends memory to the cortex for permanent storage. This conversation between brain regions happens thousands of times tonight, unconsciously, efficiently, perfectly. Research indicates that during REM sleep, your thermoregulation essentially stops. You become temporarily poikilothermic like a reptile, your temperature drifting toward ambient. This is why blankets matter more in morning hours when REM dominates. Studies show that your lymphatic system in your brain, called the glymphatic system, increases flow by up to 60% during sleep. This dramatic increase clears proteins that otherwise accumulate, protecting your brain for decades ahead. Scientists observe that during sleep, specific proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease are cleared from the brain. Beta amyloid, tau proteins both decrease. Tonight's sleep may protect you from cognitive decline years into your future. Research suggests that your bone marrow produces more red blood cells during sleep. Erythropoiesis increases nocturnally, maintaining oxygen carrying capacity. Your bones quietly produce millions of new blood cells tonight. Studies show that your eyebrow muscles, the tiny muscles that create expressions, relax completely during deep sleep. Your face becomes expressionless, neutral, peaceful. All the day's emotional displays release, leaving simple, unmarked being. The sensation of merging with darkness, becoming darkness, reflects the visual cortex's decreased activity. Scientists observe this region approaching silence, creating subjective blackness deeper than closed eyes alone can provide. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, your sense of personal identity becomes fluid. The network's maintaining sense of self reduce activity. You might be anyone, everyone, no one in dreams. Identity dissolving, reforming, playing. Research indicates that your fingernails and toenails grow faster during sleep. Cell division in the nail matrix follows circadian rhythms, peaking at night. Even your nails participate in sleep's restorative power. Studies show that your muscles produce less lactic acid during sleep. This metabolite, which accumulates during exercise, clears away overnight. Tomorrow's muscles will feel fresher, lighter, stronger than tonight's. Scientists observe that the transition out of sleep in the morning is not the reverse of falling asleep. Different neural mechanisms govern awakening, but that's hours away, irrelevant now. Just sleep deeper, longer, more completely. Research suggests that your pituitary gland produces different hormones at different sleep stages. Growth hormone during deep sleep, prolactin during REM sleep. Each stage serves unique endocrine purposes, orchestrated perfectly by your sleeping brain. Studies show that your middle ear, the space behind your eardrum, undergoes pressure equalization during sleep. Subtle changes in eustachian tube function protect your ears throughout the night's stillness. The sensation of complete safety necessary for deep sleep requires your amygdala to quiet. This fear center must assess the environment as safe. Right now, your amygdala is concluding it's safe to be completely vulnerable, completely unconscious. Scientists have discovered that your cerebellar cortex, involved in motor coordination, shows specific activity patterns during sleep. These patterns may consolidate motor learning, improving coordination unconsciously, effortlessly tonight. Research indicates that your sense of body ownership, the feeling that this body is yours, can dissolve during deep sleep. The neural mechanisms creating body ownership reduce activity. You exist without necessarily belonging to a body. Studies show that your thyroid gland produces less thyroid hormone during sleep. This reduction slows metabolism, conserves energy, shifts physiology toward rest and repair rather than activity and consumption. Scientists observe that the very last moment of consciousness before sleep is typically not distinguished from sleep itself. You likely won't know when you've crossed over. The boundary is that subtle, that seamless, that gentle. Research suggests that during sleep, your neurons release neurotrophic factors, proteins supporting neuronal health and growth. BDNF, NGF, other factors all increase overnight, protecting your brain for years to come. Studies show that your body's pH balance shifts slightly more alkaline during sleep. This shift optimizes conditions for certain repair processes, that function best at specific pH levels. The sensation of gravity changing, pulling differently during sleep onset, reflects altered proprioceptive processing. Research indicates your brain's representation of gravitational force becomes unreliable. You might feel heavier, lighter, or weightless, all equally valid perceptions. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, synaptic proteins are degraded and resynthesized. This turnover maintains synaptic health, prevents accumulation of damaged proteins. Your synapses are being rebuilt tonight, molecule by molecule. Research indicates that your scalp produces more sebum during sleep. This natural oil protects hair and skin. Even your scalp participates in nocturnal restoration, producing protective secretions. Studies show that during REM sleep, your brain sometimes produces lucid awareness. You might know you're dreaming while still asleep. This rare state combines consciousness with sleep, creating unique cognitive possibilities. Scientists observe that your rib cage moves differently during different sleep stages. Breathing mechanics shift subtly, thoracic breathing, diaphragmatic breathing alternating, optimizing gas exchange throughout the night. Research suggests that your emotional memories, especially positive ones, are strengthened during sleep. The hippocampus and amygdala work together to consolidate pleasant experiences, protecting positive memories preferentially. Studies show that your joints undergo repair during sleep. Cartilage cells increase production of extracellular matrix. Your joints quietly, imperceptibly rebuild themselves every night, preparing for tomorrow's movement. The sensation of dissolution of boundaries, of becoming unbounded, reflects decreased activity in parietal cortex. This region normally maintains body boundaries. Asleep, these boundaries become optional, flexible, meaningless. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, your brain practices different future scenarios. The hippocampus generates novel combinations of memories, simulating potential futures, preparing you for tomorrow's uncertainties. Research indicates that your sense of consciousness itself fragments during sleep. You don't have one continuous awareness, but rather multiple separate conscious moments with gaps between them, gaps you never notice. Studies show that your collagen production increases during sleep. This structural protein in skin, bones, tendons is synthesized more actively at night. Your body literally rebuilds itself every night, becoming structurally stronger. Scientists observe that the default mode network, active during rest, shows different patterns in sleep versus wake and rest. Sleep's default mode may support self-related processing in dreams, creating dream personalities, dream narratives, dream selves. Research suggests that your gums and oral tissues undergo enhanced healing during sleep. Cell turnover increases nocturnally. Your mouth repairs itself more effectively while you sleep than during waking hours. Studies show that during sleep, your brain consumes less glucose overall, but certain regions remain metabolically active. The cost of sleep is lower than waking, but isn't zero. Your brain never completely rests. The sensation of time either racing forward or stopping completely relates to how memory works. Research indicates without memories forming, time seems not to pass. Tonight, you'll experience temporal distortions, impossible to describe, but completely normal. Scientists have discovered that during sleep, your brain's waste clearance system prioritizes certain protein removals. Tau proteins, beta amyloid, both cleared preferentially, protecting against neurodegenerative diseases decades ahead. Research indicates that your retinas continue some metabolic activity during sleep. Photoreceptor cells undergo repair, regeneration even without light stimulation. Your eyes prepare for tomorrow's seeing while resting in darkness. Studies show that your spinal cord shows reduced sensory transmission during sleep. Signals from body to brain are partially blocked, reducing disturbances. Your body fades from awareness completely. Scientists observe that your sense of self, maintained by complex networks, dissolves during deep sleep. The I that thinks and worries temporarily ceases to exist. This nightly ego death is complete, normal, essential. Research suggests that during sleep, your intestinal walls become more permeable. This increased permeability allows better nutrient absorption, immune sampling. Your gut operates differently tonight, optimized for nighttime function. Studies show that your vision processing in the occipital cortex continues some activity during sleep despite closed eyes. This activity generates dream imagery, phosphenies, hypnagogic hallucinations, visual experiences without external light. The sensation of peaceful acceptance that accompanies healthy sleep requires specific brain chemistry. Research indicates serotonin, GABA, endorphins all contribute to this feeling of profound okayness happening now. Scientists have discovered that your olfactory epithelium, the tissue detecting smells, undergoes cell renewal during sleep. New olfactory neurons are generated, replacing old ones. Your sense of smell regenerates nightly. Research indicates that your articular cartilage in joints absorbs fluid during sleep. This imbibition allows nutrients to reach cartilage cells. Your joints literally rehydrate overnight, preparing for tomorrow's compression. Studies show that your circadian melatonin peaks around 2 to 4 in the morning. This peak deepens sleep, reduces core temperature, optimizes conditions for restorative processes. Hours from now, your melatonin will reach maximum levels. Scientists observe that during deep sleep, cortical neurons can completely stop firing briefly. These silent periods interspersed with active periods create the slow waves of deep sleep. Silence and activity alternate in your cortex, creating delta rhythms. Research suggests that your lung alveoli undergo repair during sleep. Epithelial cells lining air sacs regenerate faster nocturnally. Your lungs recover from day's insults, pollution, pathogens, inflammation, all decreasing tonight. Studies show that your muscles' satellite cells, dormant stem cells, activate during sleep. These cells enable muscle repair, growth, adaptation. Tonight, your muscles don't just rest, they rebuild, becoming stronger. The sensation of profound stillness extending beyond physical immobility to mental quietude represents the culmination of sleep's onset. Your body still, your mind quiet, your consciousness dissolving into pure, peaceful rest. Scientists have discovered that the very essence of what makes you you, your memories, your personality, your knowledge, all depend on tonight's sleep. Without sleep, all these dissolve. With sleep, they strengthen, consolidate, become permanent. Sleep isn't separate from life. Sleep is where life becomes lasting. And as you continue drifting deeper, remember that your body knows exactly what to do. Your brain has practiced this journey every night of your life, requiring nothing from your conscious mind. Just surrender, just release, just sleep. The science of sleep reveals a truth beautiful in its simplicity. You are designed perfectly for this. Every cell, every neuron, every system evolved over millions of years to transition into rest, into repair, into dreams. Let these words become distant now, like echoes from far away, fading into the gentle darkness of sleep. You need nothing more than what's happening now, this peaceful, inevitable descent. Sleep, deep, peaceful, restorative sleep is your body's greatest gift to itself, happening now. Will continue for hours without effort, without thought, just sleep. Rest now, deeply, completely, peacefully. Let everything go. Your brain completes its nightly masterpiece, cleaning, consolidating, connecting, healing, restoring every cell, every synapse, every circuit renewed. The glymphatic rivers have flowed, washing away cellular debris, proteins, metabolites, leaving neural tissue pristine, fresh, ready for tomorrow. Your hippocampus has transferred countless memories from temporary to permanent, from today's experiences to lifetime's knowledge, seamlessly, perfectly, automatically. The amygdala has processed emotions, softening their edges, preserving their wisdom, allowing you to remember without reliving, to learn without suffering. Every neurotransmitter has been recycled, every receptor adjusted, every channel tuned, every pump maintained. Your brain is being completely rebuilt. Sleep is the greatest gift your brain gives itself, not absence of consciousness, but presence of restoration. Not emptiness, but fullness of healing. This night, like every night, your body knows exactly what to do, has evolved over millions of years to do this perfectly, automatically, completely. You need do nothing, be nothing, think nothing, remember nothing, just exist in this perfect, peaceful, restorative state. Hours of deep sleep still lie ahead, uninterrupted healing, continuous restoration, automatic consolidation, all happening without you, beyond you, for you. Let these final words fade now, like the last evening star disappearing into dawn, no longer needed, no longer relevant, just fading away. Your breathing continues, your heart beats, your brain cleans, your cells regenerate, your memories strengthen, all automatically. The darkness holds you, the silence surrounds you, the peace pervades you, completely, totally, absolutely safe. Sleep, deep sleep, healing sleep, restorative sleep, perfect sleep, complete sleep, just sleep. Nothing more to hear, nothing more to know, nothing more to be, just sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep. And as you rest in this perfect darkness, your brain continues its miraculous work, operating on levels far beyond conscious awareness. Research suggests that the glymphatic system, your brain's sophisticated waste removal network, operates most efficiently during these deep hours of sleep. Imagine channels opening throughout your neural tissue, wider than during any waking moment, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush through like a cleansing tide washing over a beach. Studies show that the space between your brain cells expands by more than half during deep sleep, creating vast highways for fluid movement. This isn't a small adjustment, but a dramatic transformation of your brain's physical architecture. The cells themselves contract slightly, making room for the essential work of cleaning. Tonight, right now, your astrocytes are orchestrating this expansion, pulling back their delicate processes just enough to allow the fluid to flow freely through previously narrow passages. Scientists have discovered that aquaporin 4 water channels, tiny molecular gates embedded in the membranes of your astrocytes, increase their activity dramatically during sleep. These channels are like locks on a canal system, opening wide to allow the passage of cleaning fluid. Research indicates that without these channels functioning properly, toxic proteins would accumulate in your brain tissue, leading to cognitive decline over years and decades. But tonight, they're working perfectly, allowing water and dissolved waste products to flow smoothly toward drainage pathways. The arterial pulsations of your heart, that steady rhythm you might feel if you focus on it, serve a purpose beyond just moving blood. Studies suggest that each heartbeat creates a pressure wave that travels through your arterial walls, and during sleep, these pulsations actually drive cerebrospinal fluid deeper into brain tissue. Your heart is literally pumping cleaning fluid through your brain with every beat, a process that happens thousands of times each hour, moving waste from the deepest recesses of your neural tissue toward eventual elimination. Research shows that the perivascular spaces, the tiny gaps surrounding every blood vessel in your brain, serve as the primary conduits for this lymphatic flow. Fluid enters through spaces around arteries, flows through the expanded extracellular space between brain cells, and then exits through spaces around veins. This directional flow is precisely organized, ensuring that waste products are carried away efficiently. Tonight, as you rest, this elegant system operates at maximum capacity, removing the molecular debris that accumulated during your waking hours. Scientists observe that proteins like beta amyloid and tau, which have been linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia, are specifically targeted by this nighttime cleaning process. Studies indicate that these proteins, which can form harmful aggregates if allowed to accumulate, are cleared away during sleep at rates up to 10 times higher than during waking. Your brain is protecting itself tonight, washing away the seeds of potential disease before they can take root and grow into something harmful. The meningeal lymphatic vessels, a relatively recent discovery in neuroscience, line the membranes surrounding your brain. Research suggests these vessels act as the final drainage pathway for waste products removed from brain tissue. During sleep, studies show these lymphatic vessels increase their pumping activity, actively pulling fluid and dissolved waste away from the brain and toward cervical lymph nodes in your neck, where the waste can be further processed and eventually eliminated from your body entirely. Your microglia, the immune cells of the central nervous system, take on a different character during sleep. While you're awake, they remain relatively stationary, monitoring their immediate surroundings for signs of damage or infection. But research indicates that during sleep, microglial processes extend further, exploring more territory, actively seeking out cellular debris, dead cells, and protein aggregates to engulf and destroy. Tonight, these cellular guardians are patrolling every corner of your brain, cleaning up microscopic damage, maintaining the health of your neural environment. Studies show that the complement system, part of your innate immune response, tags synaptic connections for elimination during sleep. This might sound alarming, but it's actually essential for healthy brain function. Your brain forms more connections during waking hours than it can maintain, and during sleep, the complement proteins mark the weakest, least important connections for removal. This synaptic pruning ensures that your neural networks remain efficient, that important connections are strengthened while unnecessary ones are cleared away. Tonight, your brain is sculpting itself, becoming more refined, more capable, more precisely tuned to your needs. Research suggests that calcium dynamics within your neurons change dramatically during sleep. During waking hours, calcium flows in and out of cells constantly, facilitating neurotransmitter release and many other cellular processes. But studies show that during sleep, calcium waves sweep through your brain in organized patterns, coordinating cellular activities across vast networks of neurons. These calcium waves may help synchronize the molecular processes of memory consolidation, ensuring that different brain regions work together harmoniously to store your day's experiences. The mitochondria within your neurons, those tiny powerhouses generating the energy for all cellular processes, undergo fusion during sleep. Scientists have discovered that when mitochondria fuse together, they can share contents, allowing healthier mitochondria to rescue damaged ones. Research indicates that this fusion process, called mitochondrial dynamics, occurs preferentially during sleep. Tonight, your mitochondria are merging, mixing their contents, repairing damage, optimizing their ability to produce the energy your neurons will need tomorrow. Studies show that your neurons produce brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, at elevated levels during sleep. This protein acts like fertilizer for your brain, promoting the growth of new connections, strengthening existing ones, protecting neurons from stress and damage. Research suggests that BDNF is essential for learning and memory, and that its production during sleep is one of the reasons why sleeping after learning enhances memory retention. Tonight, BDNF is bathing your neurons, helping them grow stronger, more connected, more capable. The endoplasmic reticulum within each of your neurons, that intricate network of membranes where proteins are folded into their proper shapes, works overtime during sleep. Scientists observe that the quality control mechanisms in the endoplasmic reticulum become more stringent during sleep, detecting and correcting misfolded proteins more efficiently. Research indicates that protein misfolding is a root cause of many neurodegenerative diseases. But tonight, your cellular quality control systems are working hard to ensure every protein is folded correctly, maintaining the molecular integrity of your brain. Your oligodendrocytes, the cells that produce myelin insulation around the long axons connecting different brain regions, show peak activity during sleep. Studies suggest that myelin production and repair occur primarily at night when neurons are less active, and oligodendrocytes can wrap new layers of insulation around axons without interference. Research indicates that white matter, the brain tissue composed primarily of myelinated axons, actually increases in thickness with good sleep and decreases with sleep deprivation. Tonight, your oligodendrocytes are adding new layers of myelin, making your brain's connections faster, more efficient, more reliable. Scientists have discovered that the blood-brain barrier, that selective filter determining what can pass from your bloodstream into your brain tissue, changes its permeability during sleep. Certain nutrients, growth factors, and hormones cross more easily at night, while toxins and pathogens are still blocked. This dynamic regulation ensures that your brain receives what it needs for repair and maintenance while remaining protected from harmful substances. Tonight, the barrier is perfectly calibrated, allowing beneficial molecules through while keeping dangers out. Research shows that your cerebral blood flow redistributes during different sleep stages. During deep sleep, blood flow to the frontal cortex decreases while flow to sensory and motor areas may increase. During REM sleep, overall cerebral blood flow can match or exceed waking levels, providing the oxygen and glucose needed for the intense neural activity of dreaming. Your cardiovascular system is intelligently adjusting blood delivery throughout the night, ensuring each brain region receives what it needs when it needs it. Studies indicate that your heart rate variability, the natural variation in time between heartbeats, increases during healthy sleep. High heart rate variability is associated with good cardiovascular health, stress resilience, and efficient autonomic nervous system function. Research suggests that the increased heart rate variability during sleep reflects the dominance of your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch that promotes healing and restoration. Tonight, your heart is finding its most flexible, most resilient rhythm. The vagus nerve, that wandering nerve connecting your brain to organs throughout your body, increases its activity during sleep. Scientists observe that vagal tone, a measure of vagus nerve function, rises during sleep, particularly during deep sleep stages. Research indicates that higher vagal tone is associated with reduced inflammation, improved immune function, better digestion, and enhanced emotional regulation. Tonight, your vagus nerve is working quietly in the background, coordinating healing processes throughout your entire body. Your lymphatic system throughout your body, not just in your brain, becomes more active during sleep. Studies show that lymph flow, which carries immune cells and waste products, increases at night. Research suggests that this enhanced lymphatic drainage during sleep helps clear inflammatory mediators from tissues, reducing overall inflammation and supporting immune function. Tonight, lymph is flowing more freely through vessels throughout your body, carrying away the molecular signs of stress and damage. Scientists have discovered that your bone marrow produces more white blood cells during sleep. The production of neutrophils, monocytes, and lymphocytes all peak at night. Research indicates that this nocturnal boost in immune cell production helps maintain your body's defensive capabilities, ensuring you have fresh immune cells ready to respond to any challenges you might face tomorrow. Tonight, deep within your bones, stem cells are dividing, differentiating, creating the immune cells that will protect you in the days ahead. Studies show that your T cells, crucial components of adaptive immunity, become more effective after sleep. Research indicates that sleep enhances the ability of T cells to attach to and kill infected cells. Scientists have found that even a single night of good sleep can boost T cell function, while sleep deprivation impairs it. Tonight, your T cells are being optimized, their surface proteins adjusted, their killing capacity enhanced, preparing them to defend you more effectively. The cytokines interleukin-1 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, which promote sleep and also support immune function, circulate through your system in coordinated rhythms. Research suggests these molecules create a feedback loop where immune activation promotes sleep, and sleep in turn enhances immune function. Studies show that during infection, these cytokines increase dramatically, making you feel sleepy because sleep is exactly what your immune system needs to mount an effective response. Tonight, even without infection, these molecules are present at optimal levels, supporting both sleep quality and immune vigilance. Your natural killer cells, specialized immune cells that can destroy cancer cells and virus-infected cells without prior sensitization, show enhanced activity after sleep. Scientists observe that natural killer cell function decreases dramatically after even a single night of sleep deprivation and rebounds with recovery sleep. Research indicates that chronic sleep loss may increase cancer risk, partly through this mechanism. But tonight, as you rest deeply, your natural killer cells are being activated, sharpened, prepared to patrol your body and eliminate any abnormal cells they encounter. Studies show that your antibody production improves with sleep. When you receive a vaccination, research indicates that sleeping well afterward enhances the antibody response, leading to better long-term immunity. Scientists have found that sleep helps the immune system form stronger immunological memories. Tonight, your B cells are consolidating their memories of past exposures, ensuring they'll respond quickly and effectively if they ever encounter those pathogens again. The inflammatory markers in your blood decrease during sleep. Research shows that C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and other indicators of systemic inflammation all drop to their lowest levels in the early morning hours. Studies suggest that this nightly reduction in inflammation gives your tissues a chance to heal, your immune system a chance to reset. Tonight, inflammation is subsiding throughout your body, in your joints, your blood vessels, your organs, allowing repair processes to proceed unimpeded. Your hippocampus, that seahorse-shaped structure deep in your temporal lobes, is engaged in an intricate dance with your neocortex during sleep. Scientists have discovered that sharp wave ripples, brief but intense bursts of neural activity in the hippocampus, occur thousands of times during sleep. Research indicates that during each ripple, which lasts only 50 to 150 milliseconds, a memory is replayed at up to 20 times its original speed. Tonight, your experiences from today are being replayed in this accelerated fashion over and over, strengthening the neural patterns that encode them. Studies show that the neocortex, particularly regions in the prefrontal and temporal lobes, responds to these hippocampal ripples during sleep. Each time the hippocampus sends out a ripple, the cortex listens, gradually incorporating the transmitted information into its vast storage networks. Research suggests that this hippocampal cortical dialogue is how memories make the transition from temporary storage to permanent storage, how today's experiences become part of your lifelong knowledge. Tonight, thousands of these exchanges are occurring silently, efficiently, building the neural architecture of your long-term memory. Scientists observe that sleep spindles, those brief 1-2 second bursts of 12 to 15 hertz oscillations, appear to coordinate the timing of hippocampal ripples and cortical responses. Research indicates that memories are most effectively transferred when a hippocampal ripple occurs during a sleep spindle, allowing the cortex to be maximally receptive to the incoming information. Your thalamus generates these spindles rhythmically throughout the night, creating windows of opportunity for memory consolidation. Tonight, spindles and ripples are synchronizing perfectly, optimizing the efficiency of memory formation. The slow oscillations of deep sleep, those massive waves of neural activity cycling at about 1 hertz, serve as a conductor for this entire orchestra of memory consolidation. Studies show that slow oscillations group sleep spindles and hippocampal ripples together in time, ensuring that all the components of the memory system work in harmony. Research suggests that enhancing slow oscillations during sleep through techniques like acoustic stimulation, can improve memory consolidation. Tonight, your brain is generating these slow oscillations naturally, and they're coordinating all the other rhythms, all the other processes, all the other mechanisms that transform experience into lasting memory. Your spatial memories, your memories of places, and how to navigate through them appear to be preferentially consolidated during the first half of the night. Scientists have discovered that the hippocampal cortical dialogue is particularly active during early sleep cycles when deep sleep dominates. Research indicates that if you learned a new route today, explored a new building, or rearranged furniture in your home, those spatial memories are being strengthened right now. In these early hours of sleep, the neural patterns that encode spatial relationships becoming more stable, more accessible, more permanent. Studies show that your emotional memories are processed differently than neutral memories during sleep. Research indicates that emotional experiences tend to be remembered better than neutral ones, and that sleep enhances this emotional memory advantage. Scientists observe that the amygdala, your brain's emotion center, reactivates during REM sleep, reliving emotional experiences from the day. But interestingly, this reactivation occurs in a neurochemical environment quite different from waking, with low levels of norepinephrine, a stress hormone. This allows emotional memories to be processed and consolidated without the physiological arousal that accompanied the original experience. The process that scientists call memory reconsolidation occurs during sleep. Research shows that when memories are reactivated during sleep, they become temporarily unstable, malleable, open to modification. Studies indicate that this is an opportunity for memories to be updated with new information, for emotional intensity to be adjusted, for meaning to be refined. Tonight, your memories are not being recorded onto stone tablets, but rather being gently reshaped, integrated with existing knowledge, adjusted to reflect new understanding. This is how you learn from experience, how you extract wisdom from events, how you grow and change over time. Your procedural memories, your memories of how to do things, are consolidated during stage 2 sleep and REM sleep. Scientists have discovered that if you practiced a musical instrument today, learned a dance move, or improved your typing speed, those motor skills are being refined during sleep tonight. Research indicates that the motor cortex and cerebellum show specific reactivation patterns during sleep that correspond to the movements practiced during the day. Studies show that people often perform motor skills better after sleeping than they did at the end of practice the previous day, a phenomenon sometimes called sleep-dependent motor learning. Tonight, your motor memories are being polished, smoothed, optimized, becoming more automatic, more fluid, more skilled. The consolidation of declarative memories, your memories of facts and events, follows a specific timeline during sleep. Research suggests that the first 90-minute sleep cycle is particularly important for consolidating the first information you learned yesterday, while later sleep cycles consolidate information learned later in the day. Studies show that the order in which you learn things during the day is preserved during replay in sleep, as if your brain is reviewing the day's lessons in sequence. Tonight, your brain is methodically working through the day's experiences from morning to evening, consolidating each in turn. Scientists observe that memories that will be useful in the future are preferentially strengthened during sleep. Research indicates that if you know you'll need to recall information later, if you've been told a test is coming, your brain prioritizes consolidating that information during sleep. Studies show that simply intending to remember something can influence what gets consolidated during sleep. Tonight, your brain is making intelligent decisions about which memories to strengthen and which to let fade, guided by your goals, your expectations, your sense of what will matter tomorrow. The process of memory integration, where new information is linked with existing knowledge, happens predominantly during sleep. Research shows that sleep doesn't just strengthen isolated memories, but creates associations between them, building a web of connected knowledge. Scientists have discovered that people often wake with insights that weren't apparent before sleep, suddenly seeing connections between disparate pieces of information. Studies suggest this is because sleep allows your brain to try out new combinations, new associations, new organizational schemes for your knowledge. Tonight, facts you learn today are being linked with things you already knew, creating a richer, more integrated understanding. Your creativity benefits from sleep in profound ways. Research indicates that REM sleep in particular seems to facilitate creative problem solving. Studies show that people are more likely to solve puzzles that require creative insight after REM sleep than after equivalent periods of waking. Scientists believe this is because REM sleep allows unusual associations to form, connections that would be suppressed by the logical, linear thinking that dominates waking consciousness. Tonight, during REM sleep, your brain will make bizarre, illogical, creative connections, and some of those connections might turn out to be genuinely useful, genuinely insightful, the seeds of tomorrow's creative breakthroughs. The pruning of unnecessary synaptic connections during sleep is as important as the strengthening of important ones. Scientists have discovered that your brain forms synapses at a tremendous rate during waking hours, creating connections somewhat indiscriminately. Research indicates that if this process continued unchecked, your neural networks would become saturated, unable to form new connections, unable to learn new information. Studies show that during sleep, particularly during deep sleep, weak and unimportant synapses are actively eliminated, scaled down, removed from the network. Tonight, your brain is decluttering itself, removing the synaptic equivalent of junk mail, leaving only the connections that matter, the pathways that are useful, the circuits that encode real knowledge and genuine skills. The molecular mechanisms of synaptic scaling are elegant and precise. Research shows that during sleep, neurons reduce the overall strength of their synaptic inputs, bringing the total back to a sustainable baseline. Studies indicate that this is accomplished through the removal of receptor proteins from synaptic membranes, the retraction of dendritic spines, and the reorganization of the postsynaptic density. Scientists observe that this scaling process is homeostatic, meaning it maintains overall stability while allowing individual synapses to vary in strength. Tonight, at the molecular level, proteins are being removed from some synapses, added to others, the precise pattern determined by your day's experiences, your learning, your life. Your growth hormone, released primarily during deep sleep, has effects that extend far beyond growth. Research shows that in adults, growth hormone promotes protein synthesis, enhances fat metabolism, improves bone density, and supports muscle recovery. Studies indicate that people who sleep poorly have lower growth hormone levels and show signs of accelerated aging. Scientists observe that growth hormone secretion follows a clear circadian pattern, with the biggest pulse occurring shortly after you fall asleep. Tonight, in these early hours of sleep, your pituitary gland released a surge of growth hormone into your bloodstream, and that hormone is now circulating through your body, instructing your tissues to repair, rebuild, grow stronger. The production of testosterone in men and estrogen in women follows circadian patterns that depend on sleep. Research indicates that much of the daily testosterone production in men occurs during sleep, particularly during REM sleep. Studies show that sleep deprivation can significantly reduce testosterone levels, affecting energy, mood, and reproductive function. In women, research suggests that sleep influences the menstrual cycle and that chronic sleep disruption can lead to irregular cycles. Tonight, your sex hormones are being produced at the right times, in the right amounts, supporting your overall hormonal balance. Your thyroid hormones, which regulate metabolism throughout your body, show clear sleep-wake patterns. Studies indicate that thyroid-stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland is secreted in a circadian rhythm, with levels rising during sleep. Research shows that thyroid hormones influence sleep quality, and sleep in turn influences thyroid function, creating another feedback loop. Tonight, your thyroid system is calibrating itself, adjusting hormone levels to maintain optimal metabolic function. The stress hormone cortisol, which has received much negative attention, actually plays important positive roles in the body when properly regulated. Research shows that cortisol levels should be high in the morning, helping you wake up and face the day's challenges, and low at night, allowing sleep and recovery. Studies indicate that during the first few hours of sleep, cortisol drops to its lowest levels, and this nadir is essential for allowing anti-inflammatory and anabolic processes to dominate. Tonight, cortisol is at its lowest point, and your body is taking advantage of this hormonal environment to heal inflammation, build tissue, restore what was damaged during the day. Your insulin sensitivity improves during sleep. Research shows that glucose metabolism and insulin function are optimized during healthy sleep. Studies indicate that even a single night of sleep deprivation can induce a temporary pre-diabetic state, reducing insulin sensitivity significantly. Scientists observe that chronic sleep loss is a risk factor for type 2 diabetes, partly through its effects on insulin regulation. But tonight, as you sleep well, your cells are becoming more responsive to insulin, your blood sugar is stabilizing, your metabolic health is being maintained and enhanced. The hormone leptin, which signals satiety and regulates energy balance, increases during sleep. Research indicates that leptin levels rise through the night, peaking in the early morning hours. Studies show that sleep deprivation decreases leptin and increases ghrelin, a hunger-promoting hormone, creating a hormonal environment that promotes overeating. Scientists have found that this is one mechanism by which poor sleep contributes to weight gain. But tonight, your hormonal appetite regulation is being restored to proper balance, with leptin rising and ghrelin falling, setting you up for healthy eating patterns tomorrow. Your prolactin, a hormone with diverse effects throughout the body, shows a clear sleep-dependent secretion pattern. Research shows that prolactin rises during sleep, particularly during REM sleep. Studies indicate that prolactin has immunomodulatory effects, supporting immune function, and may also play roles in regulating stress responses. Scientists observe that the sleep-related rise in prolactin is independent of time of day, meaning it's specifically sleep itself, not just nighttime, that triggers this hormonal release. Tonight, prolactin is rising in your bloodstream, contributing to the immune support and stress recovery that characterize healthy sleep. The pineal gland continues producing melatonin throughout the night, though levels begin to decline in the hours before dawn. Research shows that melatonin is not just a sleep-promoting hormone, but also a powerful antioxidant. Studies indicate that melatonin can neutralize free radicals, reduce oxidative stress, and protect cells from damage. Scientists have discovered that melatonin concentrations in the brain are much higher than in the blood, suggesting it has important protective effects, specifically on neural tissue. Tonight, melatonin is bathing your brain in antioxidant protection, scavenging free radicals, preventing oxidative damage to your precious neurons. Your digestive system enters a state of relative rest during sleep, but it doesn't stop working entirely. Research shows that gastric emptying slows during sleep and gut motility decreases. Studies indicate that this allows more complete digestion of the day's meals and gives the gut lining time to repair itself. Scientists observe that the gut microbiome shows circadian patterns of activity, with different bacterial populations becoming more or less active at different times of day. Tonight, your gut bacteria are following their own rhythms, some species resting while others become more active, maintaining the complex ecosystem of your digestive tract. The intestinal barrier, the lining of your gut that controls what passes into your bloodstream, undergoes repair during sleep. Research indicates that the tight junctions between intestinal cells are strengthened during sleep, reducing intestinal permeability. Studies show that sleep deprivation can increase intestinal permeability, sometimes called leaky gut, allowing substances that should stay in the gut to enter the bloodstream and trigger inflammation. But tonight, as you sleep, your intestinal barrier is being reinforced, the cellular junctions tightened, the protective function restored. Your liver, that remarkable chemical factory in your abdomen, performs different functions at night than during the day. Research shows that the liver's metabolic activities follow circadian patterns, with some enzymatic pathways more active during sleep and others during waking. Studies indicate that the liver processes toxins more efficiently at night, converting harmful substances into forms that can be excreted. Scientists observe that the liver's glycogen stores are mobilized during sleep to maintain blood glucose levels despite not eating. Tonight, your liver is working quietly, detoxifying your blood, maintaining your metabolism, supporting your body's nighttime needs. Your kidneys adjust their function during sleep, producing more concentrated urine and less of it. Research shows that anti-diuretic hormone from the pituitary gland increases during sleep, signaling the kidneys to conserve water. Studies indicate that this allows most people to sleep through the night without needing to urinate. Scientists observe that the kidney's filtration rate remains relatively constant during sleep, continuing to remove waste products from the blood, but the reabsorption of water increases, reducing urine output. Tonight, your kidneys are working efficiently, cleaning your blood while conserving fluid, allowing uninterrupted sleep. The skin, your body's largest organ, undergoes remarkable repair during sleep. Research shows that skin cell turnover increases at night, with old cells being shed and new cells being produced. Studies indicate that collagen production, essential for skin structure and elasticity, peaks during sleep. Scientists observe that blood flow to the skin increases during sleep, delivering oxygen and nutrients needed for repair. Tonight, your skin is regenerating. Wrinkles are being filled with new collagen, damage from sun exposure and environmental toxins is being repaired. Your skin is becoming healthier, more resilient, more youthful. Your hair follicles also follow circadian rhythms. Research shows that hair growth is faster at night than during the day. Studies indicate that the stem cells at the base of hair follicles are more active during sleep, dividing and differentiating to produce the cells that will form hair shafts. Scientists observe that chronic sleep deprivation can slow hair growth and even contribute to hair loss. But tonight, as you rest, your hair follicles are working actively, your hair is growing, the cells dividing in their normal, healthy rhythm. Your bones are dynamic tissues that constantly remodel themselves, and this remodeling follows circadian patterns. Research shows that bone resorption, the breakdown of old bone, and bone formation, the creation of new bone, both occur during sleep. Studies indicate that the balance between these processes is influenced by growth hormone and other hormones secreted during sleep. Scientists observe that chronic sleep loss can lead to decreased bone density and increased fracture risk. Tonight, your bones are rebuilding themselves, osteoblasts laying down new bone matrix, osteoclasts clearing away old bone, the careful balance maintained, ensuring your skeleton remains strong. Your muscles are recovering from the day's activities during sleep. Research shows that muscle protein synthesis increases during sleep, particularly in the hours following the release of growth hormone. Studies indicate that the micro tears in muscle fibers that occur during exercise are repaired during sleep, and with adequate protein and rest, the muscle becomes stronger than before. Scientists observe that sleep deprivation impairs muscle recovery and can lead to overtraining syndrome in athletes. But tonight, your muscles are being rebuilt, stronger and more resilient than they were this morning. The cartilage in your joints rehydrates during sleep. Research shows that the lack of weight-bearing pressure during recumbent sleep allows fluid to flow back into cartilage tissue. Studies indicate that this rehydration delivers nutrients to cartilage cells, which lack their own blood supply and depend on this diffusion for sustenance. Scientists observe that joint space actually increases during sleep as cartilage swells with fluid, and this is one reason why people are slightly taller in the morning than in the evening. Tonight, your cartilage is drinking in fluid, absorbing nutrients, preparing for tomorrow's mechanical stresses. Your tendons and ligaments also undergo repair during sleep. Research shows that fibroblasts, the cells that produce collagen in connective tissue, are more active at night. Studies indicate that growth factors secreted during sleep promote the healing of tendon and ligament injuries. Scientists observe that athletes who sleep well recover faster from musculoskeletal injuries than those who don't. Tonight, if you have any minor strains or sprains, the healing process is accelerating. Collagen fibers are being laid down in organized patterns, Inflammation is resolving, tissues are being restored. Your cardiovascular system benefits enormously from sleep. Research shows that blood pressure drops during sleep, giving your heart and blood vessels a much-needed rest. Studies indicate that people who don't experience this nocturnal dip in blood pressure, called non-dippers, have higher cardiovascular risk. Scientists observe that heart rate also decreases during sleep, particularly during deep sleep, allowing the heart muscle to rest and recover. Tonight, your blood pressure and heart rate are at their lowest levels of the 24-hour cycle. Your cardiovascular system is resting, recovering, preparing for tomorrow's demands. The endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, undergoes repair during sleep. Research shows that endothelial cells produce nitric oxide, a molecule that keeps blood vessels dilated and healthy. Studies indicate that nitric oxide production increases during sleep. Scientists observe that sleep deprivation impairs endothelial function, making blood vessels less flexible and more prone to developing atherosclerosis. But tonight your endothelium is being maintained and repaired. Nitric oxide is flowing. Your blood vessels are becoming more flexible, more responsive, healthier. Your red blood cells are being produced during sleep. Research shows that erythropoiesis, the production of red blood cells in bone marrow, follows circadian patterns with peak activity during the night. Studies indicate that the hormone erythropoietin, which stimulates red blood cell production, is released during sleep. Scientists observe that chronic sleep loss can lead to mild anemia. Tonight, deep in your bones, stem cells are differentiating into red blood cells, the cells that will carry oxygen throughout your body, sustaining every tissue, every organ, every cell. The process of hematopoiesis, the production of all blood cells, is enhanced during sleep. Research shows that white blood cells, platelets, and red blood cells are all produced at higher rates during the night. Studies indicate that the bone marrow microenvironment becomes more conducive to blood cell production during sleep, with higher levels of growth factors and cytokines. Tonight, your bone marrow is a factory running at full capacity, producing the billions of blood cells you need to maintain health. Your voice, your hearing, your vision all benefit from sleep. Research shows that vocal cords recover from the day's use during sleep, with inflammation resolving and tissues repairing. Studies indicate that professional singers and teachers who sleep well maintain better vocal quality. Your cochlear hair cells, the delicate sensory receptors in your inner ear, also undergo repair during sleep. Scientists observe that exposure to loud noise can damage these cells, but sleep supports their recovery. Your retinal cells, the photoreceptors in your eyes, regenerate their light-sensitive pigments during sleep, preparing to detect photons again tomorrow. Tonight, your sensory organs are all recovering, maintaining their sensitivity, their precision, their ability to gather information about the world. Your sense of smell, taste, and touch all depend on receptors that turn over constantly. Research shows that olfactory receptor neurons are among the few neurons that regenerate throughout adult life, and this regeneration occurs primarily during sleep. Studies indicate that taste receptors on your tongue are also replaced every few weeks, and the stem cells that produce new taste receptors are more active during sleep. Your touch receptors throughout your skin similarly undergo renewal during sleep. Tonight, new sensory receptors are being born, ensuring that tomorrow your senses will be as sharp as ever. The lymph nodes throughout your body, where immune cells gather and communicate, show increased activity during sleep. Research indicates that antigen presentation, the process by which immune cells show each other what pathogens they've encountered, happens more efficiently during sleep. Studies show that the formation of immunological memory, the process that allows your immune system to remember past infections, is enhanced by sleep. Scientists observe that people who sleep after receiving a vaccine develop stronger and longer-lasting immunity than those who are sleep-deprived. Tonight, your lymph nodes are bustling with immune activity. T cells and B cells are communicating. Memories of past pathogens are being refreshed. Your immune system is preparing to protect you even more effectively. Your thymus gland, where T cells mature, shows circadian variation in activity. Research shows that the thymus is more active at night, processing newly formed T cells, teaching them to distinguish self from non-self. Studies indicate that thymic function declines with age, but maintaining good sleep can help preserve thymic activity longer. Tonight, if you're young enough to still have an active thymus, it's training new T cells, ensuring you have a diverse and capable T cell repertoire. Your spleen, that fist-sized organ tucked under your ribs on the left side, serves as a reservoir for blood and immune cells. Research shows that the spleen releases stored blood cells into circulation at different rates depending on time of day, with some evidence suggesting increased release during sleep to support immune surveillance. Studies indicate that the spleen also filters old and damaged red blood cells from circulation, and this filtering may be more active during sleep. Tonight, your spleen is working quietly, managing your blood cell population, supporting your immune system, maintaining the quality of your blood. The mucous membranes lining your respiratory tract produce more mucus during sleep. Research shows that mucus production follows circadian patterns, increasing at night. Studies indicate that this increased mucus production helps trap any bacteria or irritants that might have been inhaled during the day, allowing them to be cleared through the mucociliary escalator. Scientists observed that the cilia, tiny hair-like structures that move mucus up and out of the airways, beat more actively during sleep. Tonight, your respiratory tract is cleaning itself. Mucus is flowing, cilia are sweeping, bacteria and particles are being removed, your lungs are being cleared and protected. Your respiratory muscles, the diaphragm and intercostals, continue working throughout sleep but with reduced effort. Research shows that respiratory muscle activity is generally lower during sleep, particularly during REM sleep. Studies indicate that this allows these hard-working muscles to recover from the day's breathing efforts. Scientists observe that respiratory muscle fatigue can contribute to breathing problems during sleep in some people, but for most, the reduced load during sleep allows adequate recovery. Tonight, your respiratory muscles are contracting rhythmically, effortlessly, moving air in and out of your lungs with minimal energy expenditure. The alveoli in your lungs, those tiny air sacs where oxygen enters the blood, are protected and maintained during sleep. Research shows that surfactant, the substance that prevents alveoli from collapsing, is produced continuously during sleep. Studies indicate that the cells that produce surfactant, called type 2 pneumocytes, are more active at night. Scientists observe that sleep deprivation can impair surfactant production, making lungs less efficient. Tonight, your type 2 pneumocytes are secreting surfactant, coating the inside of each alveolus with a thin layer of this essential substance, ensuring that tomorrow you can breathe easily, efficiently, extracting oxygen from each breath. Your brain's energy stores are being replenished during sleep. Research shows that glycogen, the stored form of glucose, accumulates in the brain during sleep. Studies indicate that astrocytes are primarily responsible for storing glycogen in the brain, and they build up these stores overnight so they can support neuronal energy needs during the next day. Scientists observe that mental fatigue correlates with depletion of brain glycogen stores, and sleep is the primary time when these stores are refilled. Tonight, glucose molecules are being linked together into glycogen chains, stored in your astrocytes, ready to be broken down and used when you need mental energy tomorrow. The blood-brain barrier's transport systems are optimized during sleep. Research shows that glucose transporters, amino acid transporters, and other carrier proteins in the barrier show peak activity at specific times of night. Studies indicate that this allows the brain to take up nutrients most efficiently during sleep. Scientists observe that certain vitamins and minerals are transported across the blood-brain barrier more effectively during sleep than during waking. Tonight, transporters are ferrying nutrients from your blood into your brain tissue, ensuring that every neuron has access to the raw materials it needs for repair and maintenance. Your cerebrospinal fluid pressure decreases during sleep. Research shows that as you lie down and as your brain tissues contract slightly to allow lymphatic flow, the pressure of cerebrospinal fluid in the ventricles and surrounding the brain decreases. Studies indicate that this pressure decrease may facilitate the flow of fluid through brain tissue. Scientists observe that abnormal cerebrospinal fluid pressure can cause problems ranging from headaches to cognitive impairment, but sleep helps regulate pressure within normal ranges. Tonight, your cerebrospinal fluid is at an optimal pressure, not too high, not too low, just right for supporting brain function and facilitating waste clearance. The ependymal cells lining your brain's ventricles have cilia that beat continuously, circulating cerebrospinal fluid. Research shows that these cilia beat in coordinated patterns, creating currents that move fluid through the ventricular system. Studies indicate that ependymal cilia may beat with slightly different patterns during sleep versus waking, potentially enhancing fluid mixing and circulation during sleep. Scientists observe that defects in ependymal cilia can lead to hydrocephalus and other problems. Tonight, millions of ependymal cilia are beating in rhythmic waves, stirring your cerebrospinal fluid, ensuring it remains well mixed and evenly distributed. Your neurotransmitter stores are being replenished during sleep. Research shows that the enzymes that synthesize neurotransmitters are active during sleep, producing fresh supplies of serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and other chemical messengers. Studies indicate that the precursors needed for neurotransmitter synthesis, amino acids like tryptophan and tyrosine, are taken up by neurons more effectively during sleep. Scientists observe that neurotransmitter depletion contributes to mental fatigue and mood problems, and sleep is essential for restoring normal levels. Tonight, your neurons are synthesizing neurotransmitters, filling synaptic vesicles with fresh chemical messengers, preparing for tomorrow's neural signaling. The receptors for neurotransmitters undergo renewal during sleep. Research shows that receptor proteins, which sit in cell membranes and respond to neurotransmitters, are constantly being degraded and replaced. Studies indicate that this turnover happens more rapidly during sleep. Scientists observe that receptor density and sensitivity can be adjusted during sleep, fine-tuning neural circuits based on recent activity patterns. Tonight, old receptors are being removed from cell membranes, new receptors are being inserted, the precise numbers and locations adjusted to optimize circuit function. Your brain's electrical activity during sleep is not random noise but highly organized. Research shows that the different frequencies of brain waves, from slow delta waves to faster gamma oscillations, interact in complex ways during sleep. Studies indicate that these interactions, called cross-frequency coupling, are essential for memory consolidation and other sleep functions. Scientists observe that gamma oscillations nested within slow waves may facilitate the transfer of information between brain regions. Tonight, your brain is generating a symphony of electrical rhythms, each frequency playing its part, all coordinated in time, creating the neural music of sleep. The phenomenon of sleep cycles, the approximately 90-minute repetition of light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, is controlled by complex interactions between multiple brain regions. Research shows that the brainstem, hypothalamus, thalamus, and cortex all contribute to generating sleep cycles. Studies indicate that the precise duration of each cycle varies between individuals and even between nights in the same individual. Scientists observe that sleep cycles may be slightly longer early in the night when deep sleep dominates and slightly shorter later in the night when REM becomes more prominent. Tonight, you're progressing through these cycles naturally, your brain orchestrating the timing without any need for conscious control. The transition between non-REM and REM sleep involves dramatic changes in brain chemistry. Research shows that as you enter REM, acetylcholine levels surge while serotonin and norepinephrine drop to minimal levels. Studies indicate that this unique neurochemical state, high acetylcholine with low monoamines, only occurs during REM sleep and creates the conditions for dreaming. Scientists observe that this chemical combination activates the cortex while simultaneously disconnecting it from external sensory input and from some of its own regulatory mechanisms, allowing the bizarre hallucinatory experiences of dreams. Tonight, several times, you'll transition into this remarkable brain state, experiencing dreams that feel completely real despite their impossibility. The muscle paralysis of REM sleep, called atonia, is actively generated by specific neurons in your brainstem. Research shows that neurons in the ventromedial medulla and other brainstem regions send inhibitory signals down the spinal cord during REM, blocking motor neurons from responding to commands from the brain. Studies indicate that this paralysis is nearly complete for most voluntary muscles, sparing only the diaphragm for breathing and the extraocular muscles that move the eyes. Scientists observe that in rare disorders like REM behavior disorder, this paralysis fails, and people physically act out their dreams. But for most people, the system works perfectly. Tonight, when you enter REM, your brainstem will paralyze your body, keeping you safe, keeping you still, allowing your mind to journey while your body rests. Dreams are not just random neural noise but appear to serve important psychological functions. Research suggests that dreams allow emotional processing in a safe context, problem solving through novel associations, and simulation of future scenarios. Studies show that the content of dreams is influenced by recent experiences, current concerns, and long-standing interests. Scientists observe that while dream content can seem bizarre, it's rarely completely random. Rather, it recombines familiar elements in new ways. Tonight, your dreams will draw from your memories, your worries, your hopes, creating narratives that may seem strange but reflect your inner mental life. The REM sleep that dominates the later part of the night is particularly important for emotional regulation. Research shows that REM sleep helps process emotional experiences, particularly negative ones, reducing their emotional intensity while preserving the factual memory. Studies indicate that people who are deprived of REM sleep show increased emotional reactivity and difficulty regulating emotions. Scientists observe that REM sleep may work partly by allowing the reactivation of emotional memories in the absence of stress hormones, creating a safe space for processing difficult feelings. Tonight, in the hours before dawn, you'll spend more time in REM, and this time will help you wake up feeling more emotionally balanced, more resilient, more able to face whatever tomorrow brings. The restoration that occurs during sleep is not just neurological, but whole body. Research shows that virtually every organ system benefits from sleep. Studies indicate that chronic sleep deprivation is associated with increased risk of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, neurodegenerative disease, and early mortality. Scientists observe that sleep is not a luxury but a biological necessity, as essential as food or water. Tonight, as you sleep, every part of your body is being restored. Every system is being maintained. Every cell is being given the opportunity to repair and prepare for another day. And as these final hours of night progress toward dawn, your sleep will naturally begin to lighten. Research shows that deep sleep is concentrated in the first half of the night, while REM sleep increases in the second half. Studies indicate that this architecture is optimal, giving you deep restorative sleep when you need it most, followed by REM sleep that prepares you to wake. Scientists observe that the transition from sleep to waking is gradual, with cortisol beginning to rise in the early morning hours, body temperature starting to increase, brain activity slowly picking up. But that's still hours away. For now, you're deep in the heart of night, deep in the most restorative sleep, and there's nothing for you to do but rest. Let yourself sink even deeper now, if that's possible. Let every muscle soften completely. Let your mind release any remaining threads of thought. You've heard about the remarkable processes happening in your sleeping body, but you don't need to think about them. They're happening automatically, perfectly, without any effort or intention from your conscious mind. Your body knows what to do. Your brain knows what to do. The wisdom of millions of years of evolution is expressed in every cell, in every molecule, in every chemical reaction occurring right now as you rest. Sleep is not absence, but presence. Not emptiness but fullness, not nothing but everything. It's the foundation of health, the source of restoration, the space where healing happens. Tonight, as every night, sleep is giving you exactly what you need. Tomorrow you'll wake refreshed, restored, renewed, ready for whatever the day brings. But tomorrow is another world, Right now, there is only this moment, this breath, this perfect peace. Continue resting, continue sleeping, continue healing. Let the remaining hours of night unfold naturally, effortlessly. Your brain will continue its work, your body will continue its restoration, and you will continue to sleep deeply, peacefully, completely. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Just sleep, just rest, just peace, sleep. And as you rest in these deepest hours of night, the most profound cleaning process in your body reaches its peak of efficiency. Research suggests that the glymphatic system, your brain's intricate waste removal network, operates at maximum capacity during these middle hours of sleep, when your brain waves are at their slowest, when your consciousness has dissolved most completely into the embrace of deep rest. Studies show that the interstitial space between your brain cells has expanded to its widest dimension, creating vast channels through which cerebrospinal fluid flows like rivers through a canyon, carrying away the accumulated debris of conscious thought. Scientists have discovered that the aquaporin 4 water channels embedded in your astrocyte membranes are functioning at their highest level of activity right now. These molecular gates, numbering in the billions throughout your brain, are opening and closing in perfect coordination, allowing water molecules to pass through astrocyte membranes at incredible rates. Research indicates that each aquaporin channel can transport up to 3 billion water molecules per second, and with countless millions of these channels working simultaneously, the total volume of fluid moving through your brain tissue is staggering. Tonight, this molecular machinery is operating flawlessly, facilitating the flow that cleanses your neural tissue. The arterial pulsations created by your heartbeat serve as the driving force for this glymphatic flow. Studies show that each time your heart contracts, a pressure wave travels through your arterial system, reaching even the smallest arterioles in your brain. Research suggests that these pulsations create rhythmic compression of the arterial walls, and this compression pushes cerebrospinal fluid from the periarterial spaces into the surrounding brain tissue. Scientists observe that the frequency and amplitude of these pulsations are perfectly tuned to maximize fluid penetration into tissue. And during deep sleep, when blood pressure is lower and heart rate is slower, the pulsations become more effective at driving glymphatic flow rather than less. A counterintuitive finding that speaks to the elegance of this system. Your brain tissue itself undergoes structural changes to accommodate this enhanced fluid flow. Research indicates that brain cells, including neurons and glia, actually decrease in volume during sleep by approximately 15 to 20%. Studies show that this cellular shrinkage is not a sign of dehydration or damage, but rather an active, regulated process that creates additional extracellular space for fluid movement. Scientists have discovered that the cytoskeleton within cells reorganizes during sleep, pulling cellular contents inward, compacting the cell body, making room for the cleaning fluid to pass. Tonight, billions of cells throughout your brain are performing this coordinated contraction, creating a vast network of channels through which waste can be efficiently removed.